from beautiful Southern California. The sun is setting over the mountains. Ontario is the home of Thompson Boxing, the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario, California. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Beth Durant, alongside the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, Doug Fisher, and the one and only Rich Murata. Before we get to the fights, and there will be 5 fights tonight, it's a special night. It's I don't want to say difficult, it's a celebration night, because tonight will be the last event of Thompson Boxing, a company that was established in the early 2000s by the late, great Ken Thompson, and we've seen some great champions come out of here. We've seen some great fighters come out of here. We've seen some great experiences come out of here. So tonight is going to be a celebration of Thompson Boxing. It was a difficult decision to close the doors on this fantastic company that's been the backbone of club boxing here in Southern California. But as they always say, all good things must come to an end. But with us, we're going to party. We're going to celebrate, and nobody's going to be crying tonight. We're going to celebrate everybody. So thank you for joining us tonight. As always, it's a broadcast that is your broadcast on YouTube and on Facebook. So tonight, I really do ask you to share, and share alike. On the comments, let us know your thoughts. Let us know what's happening with you. And the DJ's so excited, he's going to turn up the music as much as he can. So we do have 5 fights coming your way, and it's not going to be a somber night tonight. We're going to really enjoy and celebrate everything that Mr. Ken Thompson created. And Doug, I'm going to start with you. As the man who is in charge of the Ring Magazine and upholding the history of the sport of boxing, you don't watch anything else except boxing, maybe some anime, maybe some cartoons.
That's
all right.
it.
But the legacy that Mr. Ken Thompson left with Thompson Boxing, what's it going to be?
Well, that's what he actually leaves, a legacy. And, being involved with Ring Magazine, last year we made a difficult decision to discontinue the monthly print edition. And that hurt. That was sad, but at the same time, you got to celebrate what you've done. And it wasn't just me, but, the shoulders that I stood on. 101 years of a publication is a big deal. And for boxing in the world of promotional companies, 2 full decades and change, 23 years is a big deal. If all Thompson Boxing did was put on a monthly show that entertained fans in this area, that's a big deal. That's an accomplishment, but they actually developed world champions. Timothy Bradley just got in the Hall of Fame, and I think about him because the first Thompson Boxing card I attended was in October of 2006. It was on a Monday, and Tim Bradley was in the main event. He's fighting Alfonso Sanchez, and he took him out in 1 round, and just based on that 1 round, I'm looking at his ring command and his confidence and his energy, and I wrote in a column, a Southern California notebook for MaxBoxing.com, this guy's a future champion. Now, in his very next fight, he struggled against some guy on Showbox, and this is before social media. People are calling me up. You don't know anything about boxing, Doug. But guess what? Like 4 fights later, Thompson Boxing is traveling to Nottingham, England with this big underdog, and Bradley wins the WBC junior welterweight title. On that same card, making his debut in this ballroom was a Colombian bantamweight named Yanni Perez.
Oh.
And I think in 2009, May of 2009, Alex Campanovo and Ken Thompson, they fly to South Africa to fight a contender that was killing every bantamweight out there, not named Rafael Marquez, named Silence Mabuza.
Mm-hmm.
And Yanni Perez upsets Mabuza, stops him in the 12th round. 5 months later, he beats Joseph Agbeko for the IBF title. And these guys are traveling around the world. This a Southern California, developmental promoter, and they're the underdogs. So to me, Thompson Boxing was always that local promoter that could, and they represented Southern California. But they also they were part of the world boxing scene, and they did it as underdogs.
And we're going to tell more of those stories tonight. You would see Mr. Ken Thompson and Alex Campanovo in England. You would see him across the pond, as they say. You would see him in Japan. Winning titles with Danny Roman. We're getting all into those stories tonight, and you can hear the excitement in our voices telling those stories. So if you're watching tonight for fights, the fights are going to be on, but it's story time tonight here at the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario. And Rich Murata, you're perfect for the story time. You were there covering the forum fights with the late, great Tom Kelly and Dr. Jerry Buss. When Ken Thompson said, hey, you know what? Member of the California Boxing Hall of Fame, Rich, I want to get a promotion company thinking. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I thought he was nuts. You have to be honest, because promoting boxing is one of the most difficult jobs that there is in the world. But they were doggedly determined from the very beginning to do it their way, and that they were gonna run it, and they were gonna do it themselves. And it was a great way to go about things. This week it was really kind of interesting and kind of different, preparing for this show, because you always look forward to coming down to these shows simply because they're competitive. There's a great atmosphere in here, the environment, you love it, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's a different kind of boxing and a different kind of boxing series. But then this week there was also that other side of this awkward dichotomy, which is that a sense of foreboding, really. Man, this is the last one. Yeah. This is the last one. But in the end, look, hey, we've got some great fighters, young kids, typical of Thompson Boxing, LOUIE LOPEZ, and NUCKLE, OLIVA, going to fight tonight, George ACOSTA. These are guys that have been developed. So, listen, I'm forgetting about the foreboding part. Let's enjoy it one last time.
Yeah, it's almost like the last day of school, where you're going to go to college or you're going to military, wherever you might be, you want to say goodbye, and rarely in this sport do we ever get a chance to say goodbye. So this is your show tonight. Mr. Thompson created the company 23 years ago. The YouTube and the Facebook portion started about 6 years ago. Myself, Doug Fisher, Steve Kim, and now Jessica Rosado is part of the broadcast, and now I'm bringing, of course, Rich Murata. And it really was, we have no idea what we're doing, but because of you, the fans, it's become something special. And who's made it special has been Alex Campanovo, the general manager of Thompson Boxing, and he sat down with Rich Murata to talk more about the company and how special it's been for everybody here in Southern California.
Rich Murata, along with Alex Campanovo, the longtime matchmaker, general manager, second in command to Ken Thompson since the inception of Thompson Boxing, and since the untimely passing of Ken Thompson earlier this year, has been the promoter of record and El Jefe for Thompson Boxing. It is the final show, the conclusion of the long run, 23 years, Alex, and already yesterday at the weigh-in, last night, the crew getting together, etc., getting a little emotional.
It's been very emotional for the last couple months. Thank you, Rich, for allowing me to have a little bit of time in our show. Yes, it's been a very tough and difficult couple months.
Right.
Obviously, last week, as we're getting leading towards this show, things are getting a little bit more heavier. But we know we had a fantastic 23-year run, and we know that we've experienced a lot of wonderful things here in this ballroom. And we created so much, let's say, happiness for a lot of people and fans.
Yeah, there's not really too many smiles in boxing, but you guys managed to do it.
Yes, we were very fortunate to create that with not only the great fighters that we had here, but also a wonderful crew that we've been able to put together over the years.
Alex, I think what you've done the last 23 years, you and Ken, from the inception of Thompson Boxing, is impossible to fathom, really, because, and folks, I've been around the game, as you know, a long time, and I've seen a lot of so-called promoters come and go. I mean, and they're gone real fast sometimes. But I mean, they can be rich people, they can be celebrities, whatever. They think they're going to come in and reinvent the wheel. I'm just wondering, how did you guys come up with the decision that you're going to go in there and give this crazy idea a go?
Well, it was all thanks to Mr. Ken Thompson. Back in 2000, we actually did our very first show here in May of 2000. It was a show that we had to create a benefit for a gym in San Bernardino at the time. I've said it probably a couple times in my boxing career that it was a show that wasn't supposed to be or happen. We had a lot of problems. After the show ended, we only had 3 fights that night. The commission helped us quite a bit at the time because we were just brand new. I wasn't matchmaking the event. We sat down with Kenny and he said, "Alex, do you think we can do this?" And I said, "Only if we do everything ourselves. We don't hire anybody. We match our show, the fights ourselves."
Interesting.
And he said, "Okay, let's do it." And then he goes, "You have to get your matchmaker's license." And I had no idea what I was doing from day one. But as time progressed, we were able to create a brand and do something different in the sport of boxing.
Well, you know, if you look back at this long run, you've done many things. You've developed a series. You developed a fan base. You developed young fighters. You developed local heroes. And in some cases, you developed guys who went on to be world champions.
Correct.
So what do you think at this point will be the enduring legacy of Thompson Boxing and how it is viewed in the future?
Our series throughout 23 years, apparently we have had about 215 shows, which is quite unbelievable if you think about it. It's easy to say we've done shows for 23 years, but it actually is mind-boggling when you start looking and thinking about what has happened in the past. But I think the legacy that we're gonna leave behind is all those great fighters that have come out from this four walls or in Corona at Omega Products. Not just the world champions that we had a chance to build, but also all the contenders. And the lasting legacy is the fact that we as a company, as a boxing company, have been able to change the lives of a lot of athletes.
Right.
Make sure that some of those dreams that those young kids had became a reality. Mm-hmm. We were very constant in all our shows. We had a set schedule every year, and that's something that Kenny always wanted to have for the fans and for the fighters. Mm-hmm. So I think
that alone was different.
Yeah, that alone was different, and the best thing for us was making sure that we elevated those young guys that probably didn't have a chance elsewhere, but they had a chance with us.
Right. Quick reminiscence, if you will, in all of the times that you've been together, you and Ken and Thompson Boxing and everything. Is there one moment that stands out as the happiest night? I mean, the happiest, most elated that you guys were in a single evening?
Rich, is so hard to think about just one because we had so many, thankfully. So many great nights, so many great victories, and also some tough defeats that actually taught us the way.
Of course.
Probably one of the happiest times we had was when Timothy Bradley won his first world championship in Nottingham, England against Junior Witter.
Unexpected.
Unexpected. He believed in himself. We did too, but to a certain degree. We were going out there to somebody else's backyard, and I believe he was the second American fighter that won a world champion decision in England, and he did it in great fashion. So probably that was one of the greatest moments that we had. And another one that's stays with me always is when Josecito Lopez beat Victor Ortiz at the Staples Center, what used to be the Staples Center.
Right.
On
I
Showtime.
remember you guys in the ring that night. You guys
we were elated. we had a very interesting road with Josecito, a lot of up and downs in his career, and that solidified him to what he is today. So it was a great night too.
We come to the conclusion, and I know you had a special relationship with Ken Thompson. There's no doubt about that. And you got a special visit this week, and you got a special gift this week that really means a lot to you. Can you share that with the fans?
Absolutely. It's a very personal story that I'm going to be able to share today. Wednesday, 2 days ago, I had a visit from Vera Thompson, Kenny's beautiful wife. She came into my office, and she obviously feels terrible that we're closing. And she said, "I have something for you that I like for you to have, and that I know that Kenny would love for you to have. I don't know if you're gonna wear it. I don't know if you're gonna use it, but I think that it's gonna be in safe hands by being with you." So she told me that Kenny found joy in this great sport of boxing, of what we have been able to do for 23 years. And that I was able to make that a reality for him. And that he loved me like a son, which was really touching for me. Because I love the man, and I love working for him. And he gave me his ring.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which I never expected. This is the ring that he's been wearing since I've actually known him, since we were in the World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1997, which he put diamonds on.
Good for him. It is a World Boxing Hall of Fame ring.
It is a World Boxing Hall of Fame ring, and I am honored to now have it with me and have it here today, because I know that he's here with us tonight in this very special and rough night, but also a happy night.
Well, a heavenly shout out to Ken. That's a great story. It's a great way for us to come to conclusion on this interview. It's been a joy for me. I know it has been for my partners on the broadcast, Beto Duran and Doug Fisher, Jessica Rosales, and Steve Kim along the way as well. Really enjoyed it. It's been great. Congratulations on a fantastic run, and good luck to you and to all of us in the future.
Thank you, Rich. Thank you very much.
All right, so awesome to hear Alex and Rich have that conversation to talk about the story behind Thompson Boxing. And of course, as Beto mentioned, this is for the fans. We are here to party. We're here to celebrate. We're not trying to be sad tonight. And the one thing that we've always talked about at all of these shows is using that hashtag Thompson Boxing. So tonight, it's going to be a little bit more special. Not only are we going to be hearing stories from obviously Rich, Doug, and Beto throughout the night, but we want to hear the stories from the fans. We want to hear you guys telling us about your first time coming out to a Thompson Boxing show, or maybe even coming out to the DoubleTree. Maybe you are actually sitting here right now at the DoubleTree watching this on your phone. Whatever it is, we want to hear your stories. Use that hashtag Thompson Boxing so that way we can listen to and hear what you have to say, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook. And then, of course, on YouTube, we are always watching those comments. Yes, I'm serious. We read those comments. We watch them throughout the night. So share those stories with us. Let us know what Thompson Boxing means to you. And like we said, tonight is a celebration. Of course, Thompson Boxing has a chapter in the history of boxing, and we're just so happy to be able to share that with the fans and, of course, share that tonight and hear your stories. So now let's get into it. Let's talk about boxing and what we can expect to see tonight. Now we do have Knuckle Nelson, who is returning. We actually saw him last show. This is going to be his third appearance of 2023, and guess what? He's scheduled to go 4 rounds. The last time we saw him, though, he had that knockout in the first round, so we'll see what he can do tonight against Jermaine Whittington. After that, we do have the co-main event where we'll see George Acosta, El Yuyu, against Eddie Valencia Mercado. I've already seen a lot of love for both of these guys on social media, so that's going to be a fun one. George Acosta saying, of course, his opponent has a lot of experience, but he's got to stick to the game plan tonight if he wants to get that W. Those guys are scheduled to go 8 rounds. And then our main event, we do have LOUIE LOPEZ, who is returning after a loss against BENJAMIN LAMPTEY. Now, LOUIE LOPEZ was saying that, of course, he has made some minor changes in his camp that are going to make a big difference for him out there in the ring. He's hoping to turn things around after that last loss that he's learned a lot from, and of course get back into the win column. So that's going to be our main event. They're scheduled to go 8 rounds. But before we get to any of those fights, we do have some other guys that are waiting to get into the ring. So right now on deck, we've got Esteban MUÑOZ and Nelson Morales. Before we see them walk out to the ring, though, let's take a look back at those weigh-ins.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. We're coming to you from the DoubleTree Hotel here in the beautiful city of Ontario, California. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic fight card lined up for you this evening. Courtesy of Thompson Boxing Promotions, we have 5 fantastic fights lined up for you. These fighters have trained hard to be here. They've trained to be here, and you paid to see them lay it all on the line right here inside the ring. And there's only one question left to ask, and that is, Ontario, are you ready? Let's get this party started. Please welcome out of the red corner from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Please welcome Nelson Babyface Morales.
Our first bout of the night, ready to walk. Scranton, PA, Nelson Morales. Dominican roots with a record of 4-7, 1 stoppage. Our first bout of the night.
He had a real friendly demeanor at the weigh-in yesterday. I got a big kick out of him when he saw his opponent, Esteban MUÑOZ. He goes, "Oh, you got those great new tennis shoes." He goes, "I got to get me some of those."
You know, he's going to be loosey-goosey because this guy stays active. He's coming off a win, but he had lost his previous 6 bouts. And all 6 of those bouts took place this year. So I think this fight is his 8th fight of 2023.
Unbelievable.
And when you're that active, you're not going to have that much anxiety. You know what I mean?
Steve Kim can't complain about him being active.
Exactly.
Like some other guys.
Steve Kim approves of this guy.
And now please welcome his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Please welcome his way as he makes his way to the ring from San Bernardino, California. Here is Esteban Stonehands MUÑOZ.
This young man brings a good crowd. Trained by Henry Ramirez.
You're right about that. You know, he says a lot of his fans will be in attendance tonight. And you know, Beto and Doug, he fought his last fight at Resorts World in Las Vegas. He said, "I was shocked. There was like 80 of my friends drove up there to watch the fight. I couldn't believe it."
It's only 3 hours away. Why not?
And I asked him the question. He couldn't answer it. Well, was that you or was that Vegas?
A little bit of both. Wearing the Thompson Boxing shirt. Established in 2000.
Yesterday at the weigh-in, he had a Dennis Rodman shirt on. I said,
Okay.
I go, "You like Rodman?" He goes, "Oh yeah, that's my man. He works hard."
Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We're coming to you from the DoubleTree Hotel here in the beautiful city of Ontario, California, where tonight, Thompson Boxing Promotions reluctantly yet proudly presents The Last One. We begin tonight's event with the first bout of the evening, scheduled for 6 rounds of boxing in the welterweight division, and being sponsored by Makita Tools, Bellegarde, Omega Products International, and Hustler Casino Los Angeles. Your 3 judges scoring the bout, should it go the distance, are Ron Scott Stevens, Zach Young, and Daniel Sandoval. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee from Bassett, California, Ray Corona. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He steps to the ring tonight with the green, white, and red trunks. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 144.4 pounds. As a professional, his record stands 4 wins against 7 defeats. 1 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Scranton, Pennsylvania, here he is. Put your hands together and welcome Nelson Babyface Morales. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner. He steps to the ring tonight with the white trunks with blue. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 142.4 solid pounds. As a professional, he has 9 fights to his credit, including 6 victories against 3 defeats. 4 of his victories come to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight from San Bernardino, California, please welcome Esteban Stonehands MUÑOZ.
Mouthpiece. Perfect right here, perfect right here. You want to touch gloves, do it now. God bless.
Ray Corona, the 3rd man in the ring. We get ready to go on the final broadcast of Thompson Boxing. Esteban MUÑOZ, Nelson Morales. You see the tail of the tape for this 6-round welterweight bout.
Yeah, Morales 2 inches taller with a decided reach advantage.
And as we will throughout the night, we will acknowledge everybody on the chat, but we also want to say our thank yous for this one. And look, without This office, there are no fights. Dr. Gluckman, Jessica, and Arisbeth of West Coast Neurology in San Pedro, making sure the fighters pass their physicals, making sure they get their medicals done, because if they don't have that, well, we don't have anybody cleared. So sometimes you wonder, well, what happened to that fight? Well, Dr. Gluckman said, no, we're looking out for these guys. So they do a great job. Thank you so much, Dr. Gluckman, Jessica, and Arisbeth, and also the great staff here at the DoubleTree, Bassam, Johan, Catherine, Teresa, Elvira, and Aisha, and all the staff that make every single Thompson show at the DoubleTree seamless. I kid you not, we walk in here, we have everything we need, and of course the world famous DoubleTree cookie is waiting for us when we check in, Doug.
They take care of us.
A little bit of tone here, Paulie. There we go. So thank you to everybody involved with that. So we'll be sending our thank yous to everybody throughout the broadcast. Of course, we see the comments that are coming through, but this one is a 6th round in the welterweight division. It was scheduled for that. Esteban MUÑOZ, Nelson Morales.
I have a pretty good vocabulary, but really don't have the words to describe Sonny's outfit that he wore into the ring tonight.
I would
Perhaps
describe it as
we could.
I would describe it as cosmic or psychedelic. And I'm here for that.
Sonny Franco, our ring announcer, who I've never seen him wear the same jacket twice. Sonny, thank you for not tearing up during our speech before the broadcast. Sonny, 15 years with Thompson Boxing as ring announcer, does a great job. The Ozark are checking in. Daniel Ochoa in Blythe. Rambling Ralph Velez in Arizona. What up, Rambling Ralph? Boxing MMA, our good friend down at the border. Esquire, Roger Chapa. You'll see him also. Harry Ziankis, Rob Film, Shoeshine Boxing, G Funky Boxing. We'll try to interact with everybody tonight. And Ed Woodson, this is a beautiful comment. Ed, Mr. Thompson would love it. Say, I'm honored, even have heard about this, been away from boxing for a while. And being from Chicago, I've never heard of this local Cali boxing show, but I'm watching it all the time now. Much respect to Thompson Boxing. And you know, Rich, when you joined us last year, part of the broadcast crew here, and the first time you did the broadcast with us, you're like, Betha, why are you talking to the crowd? Because Mr. Thompson said, please do it.
Yeah.
It really is a unique broadcast.
Yeah, it sets the stream apart from any other broadcast. By far the most engagement. And Beto, you're the only one who could do it too. Rich and I can't do that. Not like you, anyways.
We kind of give it a half-hearted try.
Yeah. It's fun. And
you
even
can multitask.
Even the nights where I wasn't here and I had to go somewhere else for a different assignment, I was watching it. Well, I really get Rich interacting with the people. I love it.
We try.
Benito Gonzalez says, "Oh, good crack right there." That's it for the first round.
It was a rather sanguine first round, but then the big left hook right at the end of the round by Stone Hands may have stolen him the round.
Yeah, absolutely. I think MUÑOZ is doing a good job finding a way to get inside that long reach of Morales.
Thompson Boxing is done, but Thompson Building Materials, you'll see their trucks all over Southern California and the West Coast. Locations from Orange all the way to Sacramento on the West Coast for you. All right, so Henry Ramirez working it. Benito Gonzalez says, Doug, come back to Coach Malachi's show, ignore the haters.
I'll think about it.
What are we going to be doing because no more Thompson Boxing? Well, we do a lot. We work for different spots. Of course, Doug is the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine. Rich, living in Reno, Nevada, he's out there playing his harmonica and guitar.
That's right. Doug, why do you have all those haters? What is that all?
I don't know.
You're such a nice guy. I don't get it.
They don't respect niceness.
S&E Gaming says, I call the fights at Fight Club OC. What's up, Roy Engelbrecht? Let's merge to the shows. No, there is no merging. Thompson Boxing, closing doors at the 23 years and going out on top. Doing a great job with you. And we wish you success, S&E Gaming at the Fight Club OC. That's an interesting show at the hangar that Roy puts on.
Yeah. I used to work for Roy. I used to do his telecast long ago in the at the
Marriott?
The Marriott in Irvine now.
Those were fun shows.
There's Esteban MUÑOZ in the white, letting his hands go a bit.
Yeah, Morales is engaging with him on the inside. He's not using his reach.
Big Serge Estrada, Cutman is watching in the back. So as the fighters are getting ready, they're watching the broadcast. So we'll be careful about what they say.
I thought Morales looked, pretty decent in the first round as far as his ability to get around the ring. You know, he's a natural athlete.
Yes.
I think you can tell he gets around that ring pretty good. He's having some fun in there right
You
now.
said 6 fights this year? 7 right now?
This is his 8th fight of,
8th
of
fight.
2023. So he's loosey-goosey in there. I mean, he's literally having a good time. He's talking to him.
I know he has another one scheduled next month.
He does.
Yes.
It's just what he does.
He's from Scranton, PA. The name came from him, Babyface Nelson, from Nate Campbell gave it to him. We have a relationship with Nate. They're like, oh, that's your nickname. I don't know about it. He goes, what it is now. Just take it.
Yeah. When Nate Campbell says something, you better listen, because that dude's
He can punch,
could be
man.
he could be surly.
That's one way to put it. Muñoz looking good here. Uppercut lands for Muñoz.
Yeah, I think Morales is right in Muñoz's wheelhouse by squaring up in front of him. Muñoz likes to mix it up. He likes to engage on the inside. And I think Morales would get a little bit more in his punches if he was from mid-distance or on the outside.
Well, that's what he was doing in round 1, but he's changed it up here in the second round.
Oh, good. Right from Muñoz. This is what Morales does. He's entertaining. He's the taller fighter, but does he have a Shane Mosley tattoo? Is that what it looks like?
It looks familiar.
Yeah.
It does kind of look like the same sort of tattoo that
There we go.
Mosley and Mosley
He's having
Jr.
fun.
had. Yeah.
He's playing to the crowd.
Body shot from Muñoz. That's what Muñoz has to do. Stay locked in. Good combination from Muñoz.
He's actually smothering Muñoz's attack here, though. Even though you figure Muñoz wants to be the guy on the inside.
G Funky Boxing said Doug is nice. I met at the shows in Sacramento. Interview right on the spot. There it is.
Thank you, G Funky.
Rob Sula, you're right. Get your drinks in tonight. Absolutely. The nachos too. That's wrestler Jess right there. Ring girl for tonight, as along with Aaliyah. Jessica Toledo. She was a collegiate wrestler at Mount Sac.
Wow.
Trains MMA. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Really?
Not just a pretty face.
Does a little bit of broadcasting also. So Jessica, her Instagram is wrestler Jess, because she will legit train MMA fighting.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. There's our Dominican squad from Scranton. Yeah, talking to them in the back, pretty cool. Enjoying the opportunity to be here. Rob Film says, Morales walked in and said, give me the Shane Mosley tattoo. Well, we see guys with the Miguel Cotto tattoo all the time now.
That's true.
Well, Muñoz isn't laughing at the antics of Nelson Morales.
No, that's good though. The Fighters Lounge with Peter Christensen. Hey, Pete, how you doing? Great work by you, Doug, and Rich. We appreciate you.
See, this kind of activity by Morales results in, it's kind of entertaining to watch and everything, but it results in losses across the way.
Yeah, gives away rounds, right?
And I hate to see it because he definitely has the frame, but he appears to have the athleticism. I mean, he just showed us a jab to the chest right there to stick and move, to work a busy jab. And I would say Muñoz he's kind of straight up. His upper body is sort of stationary. The head is right there on the line, as Tim Bradley would say on ESPN. And he seems to be there for a good stiff left jab, and I'm not seeing it enough from Morales.
Also, the fight's not possible without Andrew Bocanegra and Cali Boxing, along with Greg Spiegelman and SET Medics. And of course, in Northern California, our medical superstar, Cynthia Salinas. We want to make sure we thank everybody that helps get the fights made in the ring.
And these are people that most fans are not thinking about when they tune in to a boxing event.
But when there's no fight, we're thinking about them.
Yeah.
So again, Greg Spiegelman, Andrew Bocanegra, and Cynthia Salinas, thank you so much for everything you've done for Thompson Boxing in 23 years of business.
Good work by Muñoz to the body in this round. And showing a little movement now, too. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Instead of just coming forward.
Yeah, I like the footwork. I would like to see more head and upper body movement from Muñoz, and he's got a little bit of it. He's punching on the fly really well.
Yeah.
I would like to see him put 2 and 3 together every now and then.
Muñoz having a nice round, though. It's like,
Yeah.
and he's the one having fun.
Yeah.
It's like, who's zooming who now, buddy?
Yeah. If the way that the show is opening up right now with this energy and this vibe, I can only imagine by the time we get to the main event of LOUIE LOPEZ and Benjamin Lamptey.
Yeah, Muñoz is in his rhythm right now. He's warmed up.
Looks good.
And he's relaxed.
And his losses have been against tough fighters.
Yes.
And step-up competition. Lorana Bell, our timekeeper tonight, led in his own final seconds. Of course, the Hall of Famer Mike North to my left. So the best of the best in the business, working the time tonight. All right, and that is JC Lawson, our ring girl for this round. And of course, full transparency here at Thompson Boxing. So Yannet D 1892 says, why is the promotion making it their last one? Well, it wasn't because of lack of advertising. It wasn't because of lack of media coverage, because there's always been great media coverage in Southern California. But Mr. Ken Thompson passed away a few months ago at the age of 85. And then after that, it was a business decision that we were told. It was a business decision to cease operations of Thompson Boxing at that time. So it wasn't because they were losing money or anything like that. It was just a business decision.
Yeah.
And Mr. Thompson also owns Thompson Building Materials and Omega Products International. So a lot of things went into that. But Mr. Thompson, this was his pride and joy, his baby. You know, after 23 years, doors will be closed. And this isn't a time to cry, it's a time to celebrate everybody here. Puerto Rican Rum says, a sad day, of course, but hearing Rich Murata always brings back great memories of Fight Night at the Great Western Forum with Murata and Tom Kelly. Rich, for those of us who weren't born in that era, what is he talking about?
You know, Foreign Boxing, of course, had a great run. Well, now let's pay attention to the
Morales is having a great run, yeah. He landed 3 power shots.
Yeah.
You know, but I was wondering, because as long as you brought up the Foreign Boxing, Beto, that maybe it's me, because I was there when Foreign Boxing came to an end. I was there when America Presents Boxing came to an end, and now I'm here when Thompson Boxing comes to an end. I may have to do some introspection on that one.
Well, and that is the last time I will ever work with Rich Murata.
That's just the boxing business.
But one of the cool things inside the DoubleTree is how many former fighters are here. I'm looking to my right. There's Chris Arreola, heavyweight. Standing room only, too. It's a sold-out standing room only crowd. So if Chris Arreola don't have a chance.
Oh, yeah, I see him.
If he don't have a seat,
Man, he is slimmed down.
Hey, he's in
That's
camp
good.
right now. Joel Diaz in attendance. Oh, with Danny Zamora. And
Walking in here, I saw El Maestro, Mauricio
Herrera, yeah.
I saw him. He had a really good run.
Yeah.
Probably should have been crowned junior welterweight champion of the world.
Also, the Pro-Am Medicals in Las Vegas. Thank you for everything you've done for Thompson Boxing. It's a good scrap for Muñoz.
You can always tell a good show because the fighters show up. You know, in the last few shows, we've had Carlos Palomino here, we've had Michael Nunn here, Albert Davila here. You know, those guys.
Less than a minute to go in the 4th round, scheduled for 6, our first bout of the night. Good matchmaking here. If you want to see what Esteban Muñoz has against Nelson Morales, don't be fooled by Morales' 4-7 record.
Yeah, no, he's got talent.
Well, he's one of those guys, have gloves will travel. I don't think he ever fights in the same place twice.
No.
He's all over the East and the South fighting.
Muñoz is putting those punches together like I wanted to see, and I'm seeing the head and upper body movement more in this round. So he's definitely warming up, and he's showing us the full extent of his abilities.
Well, he said he worked hard on his conditioning for this fight because he felt his conditioning has let him down in a couple of fights. And he does appear to be very strong at this point.
He continually mixes body shots into his offense. He's not going to neglect that midsection.
when you're taking blows to the midsection, it leads to you ceasing showboating.
And we've seen that.
I'll write that one down.
I like the way that Morales started the round, though.
Supreme Boxing, True Boxing Heads, appreciate everybody. Fight Stars. Rob Film says, when Chris Arreola once said after a fight he wanted to go eat menudo, I became a fan. Yeah. Chris's post-fight interviews, always something.
Yeah.
Always something.
He was raw and uncut.
Tonio Gutierrez watching us in Sacramento. Thompson Boxing went to Sacramento a few times. Fights at Omega. We've been there for the hottest days of the year and also the coldest day of the year.
Yeah, Sacramento, there was a wide diversion.
Yeah.
We froze the last time we were up there.
it was a little wet, too.
And Mr. Thompson right there front and center. Nice jacket.
But it was memorable because we saw a guy get his teeth actually knocked out.
Fifth round of action. That ring looks good. Javier, Alex, and the rest of your crew always do a great job setting up the ring. There's never been a complaint about the ring. Never fallen apart, never broken. Great job, Javier and Alex. Thank you for everything you've done for Thompson Boxing.
You know, something about Alex Campanova, fans got a chance to meet him at the top of our show here. You know, one of the reasons I think Alex has been so successful is because he not only knows everything, he's done everything since the very beginning of Thompson Boxing. He's participated in all of the different areas. I mean, and he has been he builds the ring sometimes, or helps break down the ring.
He's involved in every aspect.
Everything, signing fighters, scouting fighters, matchmaking, everything.
Driving fighters.
Exactly.
I like when hearing Alex's stories. This is why when we would go to Salinas or Corona or in the bubble, we would hear the stories about when he went down with Johnny Perez down to Venezuela, or when he went to Colombia with Momo Romero, the 118-pound champion that they built. Like going down to these places, of like, okay, we're here, and I'm like, Alex, why were you there? He goes, oh, because Kenny wanted to go. Like Kenny Thompson didn't just sign you; he took care of you.
Yeah.
Going to Japan and fighting there, going to England,
South Africa.
South Africa. Well, Cecilise, we appreciate you checking in with us. And then all the comments I'm reading are coming from the YouTube page. So if you want to leave a comment, go to the YouTube page. Good scrap.
Yeah, we're getting some nice back and forth between these guys.
Although I think Morales' punches are becoming fewer and more far in between.
Rich, I'm trying hard not to make an off-wrist reference because he's from Scranton, PA. Nelson Morales. Doug has no clue. He doesn't watch The Office.
No.
Oh, you do?
I mean, I know it's in Scranton. I don't think I've watched 1 minute of a single episode.
Of course not.
I am familiar with the series. Ooh. Morales having some moments in the final minute of this round 5.
He still is dangerous.
Only one knockout from Morales. So. Lincoln Thompson watches in Cape Coral, Florida. How you doing? On the East Coast. Our main event tonight, Louie Lopez, co-feature YUYU ACOSTA, also Knuckle Nelson still to come.
All right, guys, as much as we are enjoying the conversation by Rich, Doug, and Betha, we're also enjoying the conversation on YouTube. Keep that chat going. Coming up next, though, we do have Kevin Salgado, Isaiah Vargas. That is coming up on the broadcast.
That's the voice of the best in the business, Jessica Rosales. Brought her in here. She said, of course I want to work at a Thompson show. Just fantastic, like the epitome of a professional. We've all worked with her for many years, and she gets younger every single year.
She does.
And now she's a professional mom.
Yes. Has a 6-year-old son. I believe Silvio Dante is the name. No, it's not. But yeah, Jess does a great job. Especially when she's not here, she is missed. And one of the best in the business in all sports. Also, you can see our Dodger Stadium as on-field host on the weekend. So, Jess, thank you for everything you've done for Thompson Boxing, and all the way for calling Sonny Franco the Flaming Hot with that jacket tonight. I got to give you credit for coming up with that one tonight. All right, 6th and final round. Stonehand Muñoz controlling this fight, looking good. What can he do to close it out?
In one of his many conversations with Esteban Muñoz in this fight, Nelson Morales got hit a couple to the body, and he looked at him and he said, "Oh, hands of stone, huh?"
I just want to send this message out.
Oh, that was a nice right cross landed by Morales.
On this final show, first bout, competitive, very competitive, well-matched fight here.
Adalberto Vargas.
That's what fans can expect.
Checking in from San Antonio, Texas. Xavier Madrid checking in.
Thompson really doesn't do blowouts. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not about padding a fighter's record. It's, you know, you got to earn it. And we have, I mean, all three of us, we have witnessed our share of upsets.
Oh, gosh.
During this show.
In this building.
I mean, sometimes there's like the majority of fights end in an upset.
And then they'll be brought back the next time, and then they win. You have to fight your way out of the DoubleTree.
Well, our main eventer tonight, LOUIE LOPEZ, lost his last fight.
Yeah, to a really good,
really good
opponent.
He's entertaining.
Yeah.
You put on a show, you get put on.
And if you look at his record, you look at the guys, like the last 4 or 5 guys that LOUIE LOPEZ has fought. They're all good. They're all prospects.
Thanks for watching wherever you may be. Mention we got people watching in San Antonio, Sacramento. See somebody watching in Palos Verdes. Okay, watching us on the hill. Round of Boxing watching in Oklahoma. He's ready to cover Cambosos Hughes tomorrow. Santana. A lot of people watching us at Misty's. All right. I'll be there later on tonight. The lounge here at the DoubleTree.
You are always described as an excellent customer for them at Misty.
I tip well. I tip too well. Andrew Gray, appreciate you. Muñoz. Nelson Morales, respect to him. The kind of fighters that are the backbone of boxing, Rich. The kind of guys that you need to test a young man. And doesn't come to be boring. Oh, gets tagged a little bit. Final seconds for Esteban Muñoz. Letting his hands go. 6th and final round, and Morales answers back with 1. Good scrap, entertaining, and we're done with the first one of Thompson Boxing on a Friday night. The two fighters hug, respect between the two, and it'll go to the judges' scorecards in our first bout of the night.
Excellent.
Yeah. We'll be back with a decision in Thompson Boxing in Ontario.
Experience the world's largest compatible cordless system. Makita's LXT batteries take you from power tools to outdoor power equipment. The blower delivers power comparable to a 24cc gas model. From the job site to your home, reach speeds of 116 miles per hour. Use Makita's cordless products anytime, anywhere. One system, endless possibilities. Now get 2 extra free batteries.
paving the way to your personal sanctuary that you simply can't stop thinking about. Find yours at bellegarde.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 exciting rounds of boxing action to the judges' scorecards, we go for the official decision. Judge Ron Scott Stevens, he's about 60 to 54, while judges Zach Young and Daniel Sandoval both see about 59 to 55, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. From San Bernardino, California, Esteban, the Stonehands Muñoz.
And congratulations to young Esteban Stonehands Muñoz, now 7-3, unanimous decision. He looked good. A fighter who was a little awkward, gave him different looks, Doug, but the young man passed the test. I like this style.
Yeah, I mean, and he was coming off a loss, and you know, he dealt with that, and yeah, he looked confident, he looked competent, and he showed a little bit more of a boxing acumen with this performance, with his footwork and the, you know, the mixing of the punches.
And in Nelson's case, it does what has happened to him actually most of his career. He travels, he's the B-side, he shows up, fights in another guy's hometown, shows up to fights some, showboats some, entertains some, but usually loses.
Yeah, entertains, but also makes an effort.
And to the right of us, Nelson Morales.
He's got some fans.
Got little kids asking for autographs. He's like looking at him like, why? Like, I lost. But it's good though. It's
I like that.
The next generation of it. So that's pretty cool. Morales. So let's see where you guys are checking in from right now. I see somebody. Y saludos que nos está mirando la Viña del Mar en Chile. González, ¿cómo está? Mándense un buen vino tinto, por favor. We got somebody in Chicago watching us. Central Texas. Permonte Boxing in Germany.
Germany, huh?
Yeah, Jose Vargas in Southgate. Go Rams. What else? And Steve Walker, you're right. Respect anybody who gets in the ring.
You know, one of the things about Ken Thompson, you're reading all of these places where people are writing in from. He really loved it when he would hear from the foreign countries,
Oh, absolutely.
from foreign fans, huh?
And Kenny loved his Mercedes, so he loved the German fans coming to check him out. As he told me, I buy cars on the Autobahn. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I go to Germany on vacation, and I could test drive my Mercedes on the Autobahn. I'm like, and what if you don't like it? He goes, we test another one. Jessica Rosales, she has a heavy foot. She loves to drive on the Autobahn, but she's standing by with our winner right now.
All right, guys, joining me now, Esteban Muñoz, winner by unanimous decision tonight. Now, it's going to get a little bit loud while we're doing this interview because I think they're going to have the ring girls throwing some stuff out. Okay. But one of the things that you talked about was that you worked on your conditioning for this fight. Going the distance, how much did that help you?
It helped me out a lot, really, because my last fight I was winning, and I got stopped because I gassed out. And that's what I get for underestimating my opponents. This time around, I didn't underestimate this guy, and I took him very serious. I actually thought I was going to get a rematch, and I really wanted to get the other guy back. But, I mean, hey, a victory is a victory, and a fight's a fight, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
And, of course, that's one of the things that can get fighters in trouble when they underestimate their opponents. Today's opponent did a little bit of showboating, did a little bit of dancing in the ring, but you managed to stay focused. How?
You know, it was getting a little bit to me. I was kind of getting annoyed a little bit, but you know, I have to remember I got to stay composed and you know, just do my job. He was just doing that because he knew he couldn't match me skill for skill, so he had to, you know, try to pull out some tricks, you know, from under his sleeve.
Of course, as the fight went on, you could tell that you were getting a little bit looser, a little bit more comfortable in there, moving a little bit more. In what round do you feel that you really controlled the fight?
I think during the second round, during the later part of that second round, I felt good. I felt way better. I felt like he took the first round, maybe, but you know, like I stayed composed and I felt like I started getting in my rhythm, and you know, I started really busting out the tricks that I really do in sparring at the gym, and I'm very happy about that.
And of course, Esteban, congratulations to you, the victory. We got a very happy celebration, but then of course, we also have the last fight for Thompson Boxing. How special is it to fight on this broadcast?
you know, it's very special. I really enjoy being here. All the fights they put me on, you know, I really enjoy everybody. Alex, Mr. Kenny Thompson, rest in peace. And, you know, I actually like that they put my image from my last fight here in the ticket, so that was very special to me. Yeah.
And anything you want to say to everybody that watched from home? We got a lot of people that have been true fans to Thompson Boxing and watched all of these live streams. What do you want to say to everybody?
You know, I want to thank everybody who tuned in, everybody who came in, bought tickets for me, and you know, I really appreciate everybody, and I really I see the support, you know. And Amá, lo hicimos, le dije que le íbamos a ganar y le ganamos.
All right, well, congratulations on the fight tonight, and congratulations on the win. And of course, we've got more fights, more action coming up here from the DoubleTree. Up next, Kevin Salgado and Isaiah Icy Vargas. We'll take a look at that video now.
Here we go, fight fans. Let's get the action going once again. Please welcome out of the red corner from Temple Hills of Maryland. Here is Icy Isaiah Vargas.
All right, Isaiah Icy Vargas. Ugly record of 1-6. Don't be fooled by that. He comes to scrap. He's from Houston, but now living in Maryland. Another example of have gloves, we'll travel, let's go.
Yeah, he stays busy. I mean, he's coming off 4 consecutive losses, but they've all been in 2023. This is his 6th bout of the year, which by today's standards means he is very, very active.
It's good to be icy when it's 105 degrees.
Yes, I wish I was icy.
As Jaime Escalante said in Stand Deliver, think cool, think cool. And he's got the cool look on him. Oh, now he smiles. Somebody recognizes him. And it's weird when you come into the building like this where you don't know anybody. The only person you're with you is your trainer. Get a little acknowledgement for the crowd.
Yeah.
And make sure you share the live stream on Facebook and YouTube, the last one of Thompson Boxing. This way, Icy. Go that way. There you go. There you go. Walking right in front of us. We also give safe direction here at the broadcast table. Nelson Oliva still to come, so if you're watching us, como Mr. Nugget in Oregon, Happy Valley, Oregon.
And now, please welcome his opponent as he makes his way to the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, out of the blue corner from Murrieta, California, here is Kevin El Gallo Colorado Salgado.
Kevin Salgado, his last time in the ring, a few months ago, after a 10-year break, he comes in to Vicente Fernandez, Gallo Colorado. He looked good, so they brought him back. He was fun, got the energy, and he is working up a lather just walking into the ring.
Yeah, he's hyped up. I like this.
Well, he was well rested for that last fight.
Yeah, right. Batteries were recharged, definitely.
Jam right here. And most importantly, Rich, he sells tickets.
That's it. Listen to it. You got a whole section behind us.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario, California, Thompson Boxing continues on. Kevin, El Gallo Colorado, Salgado. Once again, your referee in charge, Ray Amendariz, to give the final instructions.
All
right, here we go.
Face over here, guys. Just a little bit. All right, both belt lines look good to me tonight. I've already given you instructions in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands, protect, and defend yourself properly all night. Touch gloves if you want. Back to your corners, guys.
All right, let's look at the tail of the tape for this fight.
Salgado is the older man, but he's also the taller man with the longer reach.
All right, so we get ready to go, our second bout of the night. And before we get into the fight, without a doubt, we can't produce this show without the guys in the front, the crew in the front. So the ticket takers, the ones that help everybody out. Yo. Christopher Green, 7 years. Evelyn Martinez, 6 years. Andrew Orozco, 2 years. Josh Parrilla, 13 years. Ryan Gonzalez, 2 years. Jonathan Becerra, 5 years. And of course, Eric Velasco, 15 years working behind the scenes. And right away, we got a scrap breaking out here. Kevin Salgado's letting his hands go in the black trunks.
These guys are battling it out in the trenches. And, ooh.
That body shot got to Icy.
Yeah, Morales felt that.
All right, this was scheduled for 4. I don't know if we're going to get 4.
Yeah. Morales was able to land a right hand and retreat, but Salgado's wisely gone back to the body.
Oh, that got him. That dropped him. Vargas got clocked, but he got back up quick.
That was about 30 seconds after that first body shot. You saw him visibly wince and back off.
Salgado's crowd is ready to erupt. Body shots from Salgado in the black and red. Staying composed is the fighter, El Gallo Colorado. Winston is Vargas, who's getting tagged. Uppercut now in the corner. I don't know how much longer. That got him with the left hook, and Salgado is just punishing Vargas here early in the first.
Yeah, right. Vargas is close to being overwhelmed.
He's taking, I noticed when they were at the referee's instructions, Salgado just looked much bigger and stronger. It didn't seem that way when you saw the tail of the tape, but when you looked at them,
he's just measuring him for lefts to the body.
Body work. Punishment being dished out by Salgado.
This is close to being over, I think.
Referee Ray Armendariz is talking to the opponent, saying, show me something. And he lands an overhand right to stay alive. More body work, that tag, and that's it, it's over. A first round stoppage by El Gallo Colorado, Kevin Salgado.
Well, let's hope Salgado doesn't wait 10 years to fight again.
He looks good.
I think he'll be back. He'll be back soon. He's on a good run.
That was well done, but there just was no place for Icy to hide in there.
We'll be back with more Thompson Boxing in Ontario, California.
If you're at this table, you know that it's more than a game of luck. You're not here for the small talk. You're here for the action. If you're at this table, you're a hustler. Hustler Casino.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 2 minutes, 8 seconds of the very first round. Referee Ray Armendariz puts a stop to this contest, declaring your winner by way of a knockout from Murrieta, California, Kevin El Gallo Colorado Salgado.
El Gallo Colorado. First round stoppage, 2:08 of the first round to be exact.
And he's 31. He's still got some time. Yeah. Huh? Why not? Keep it going.
He said after his last fight, we went right back to the gym. The first one was ring rust. Tonight, there was no rust there. He came out strong.
It was the right approach for this opponent. And I like that he figured out, okay, the guy doesn't like it to the body. The left to the liver area was open. And here he is. He's cornered him. He's backed Vargas into his own corner. And he's keeping him against those ropes. And it was a left to the body that put Vargas down. It was a left to the body that continued to weaken Vargas. And an occasional straight right would help set up those body shots. There's the straight right, followed by the hook to the body.
That brought to you by Hustler Casino. Thank you to Hustler Casino for the patronage over the years. Thompson Boxing, 23rd year of business. Up next, Knuckle Nelson Oliva against Jermaine Whittington. Don't go anywhere. Knuckle Nelson, you see that record, 7-0, 6 KO. Jessica Rosales, she's still undefeated, standing by with Kevin Salgado.
All right, guys, we're giving Kevin a little bit of time. You know, he just got the knockout. He heads over here. We just threw a towel at him and said, here you go, clean up. And he said, you know what, let me put my robe on. So, Kevin, first and foremost, congratulations on the win tonight. Is there anything you want to say to everybody that's watching right now?
I just first want to thank Alex and Thompson for letting us back in the show. It's been about 10 years since I've been out the game, and I'm back, and I want to thank you guys so much. I'm so blessed to have you guys and all the fans, everybody supporting me, coming back. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me.
And of course, after taking some of the time off, this is kind of how you want to have your return back, right?
Yes. Little by little, I still feel real rusty, and there's a boxer in there that's still hiding. And we'll be back.
Tonight, it was definitely those body shots that were working for you. Tell us why you relied so much on those body shots.
Yes. That's just one of my favorite shots. I guess that's a lot of sparring, doing that, and just working. After Margarito, everybody just wanted to do it. I want to perfect it just as well.
So I gotta ask, after having some time off, you come back in here, you get the knockout so quickly like that in the first round. Are you already itching to get back in the ring and do this again?
Honestly, I'm taking it one step at a time, just because that rust, it takes a long time. So I kind of get disappointed because I want to be in there longer, just so I can get the feel of how it feels to be in there longer. So that's what really gets me disappointed after every fight.
Now, what's next for you, Kevin? Do you go find out what the next fight is? Are you going to be back in the gym, in 2 days like most of these fighters are?
I'll be back in the gym on Monday, but we're hoping Alex comes back and he doesn't close this down, because I just love it right here.
And this is a fun card to be on tonight. Obviously, we're celebrating Thompson Boxing, everything that they have done with this being our last show. What does it mean to you to be on this?
It means everything to me. It was about 12 years ago when I asked Alex, and he said he was going to let me in, and he finally let me in. So thank you, Alex. Thank everybody else for coming. De Mexicali, Baja California, toda la familia, los Salgados, Lopez, Hernandez, everybody, thank you guys for coming. Legacy Boxing, everybody, Riverside, everybody, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for the time, Kevin. Congratulations on the win. And I think you got some fans over here waiting for you as well. Thank you so much. All right, guys, we are going to continue with the action here tonight. Obviously, Kevin setting the tone with that knockout. So up next, we do have Knuckle Nelson Oliva against Jermaine Whittington. They're scheduled for 4 rounds. Let's see how long that one goes. But first, let's take a look back at the weigh-ins.
go, fight fans. Let's get the action going once again. Please welcome as he makes his way to the ring out of the red corner from San Antonio, Texas. Here is Jermaine Chico Whittington.
San Antonio, Texas, Jermaine Whittington, Chico.
Now here's a guy who's 41 years old.
Late comer to the sport, I take it.
Well, he said that he actually began boxing in Texas when he was 19, right? But he suffered a motorcycle accident when he was 21 and really wrecked him, and so he got out of the sport, and that was it. At the age of 39, he said he got jumped in a bar fight, and he did real good, and then he took 3 guys out. And he said after that, I gotta go back to the gym.
I still got it. I can still crack a little bit. Obviously, yeah.
Oh, I love boxing. You never hear the same story twice.
Who knows if it's true or not, but it's a great story.
That sounds good.
There it is, representing San Antonio, Texas. Speaking of you never see the same thing twice, Sonny's jacket, you'll never see that again. Bring on.
And now please welcome his opponent as he makes his way to the ring out of the blue corner from Los Angeles, California. Here he is, Knuckle Nelson Oliva.
Okay, now this is a different song. I mean, I dig it 25 years ago. The song might be older than Knuckle Nelson.
I think it is. No, it's definitely older than Knuckle Nelson.
No, tag team. This is like if you're partying at LMU or University of Missouri or wherever you might be. Yeah. In the dorm in the 90s.
Yes.
Oh, whoop, there it is.
He wanted something festive. He's feeling good. He's coming off a first-round knockout.
Knuckle Nelson Oliva. Guatemalan and Mexican. Actually, on Guatemalan, El Salvadorian. Get it right.
You know, his picture on BoxRec doesn't look anything like, and I showed it to him yesterday. He goes, I hate that picture.
BoxRec loves to do that, by the way. They're like mug shots.
That's what, you'd never recognize him. He's a good-looking kid.
Yeah.
And he can punch.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario, California, Thompson Boxing Promotions continues on with the next bout of the evening, scheduled for 4 rounds of action in the super middleweight division, and being sponsored by Makita Tools, Bellegarde, Omega Products International, and Hustler Casino Los Angeles. Your 3 judges ringside scoring the bout should it go the distance are Ron Scott Stevens, Zach Young, and Daniel Sandoval. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Ray Corona. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting on the red corner. He stepped in the ring tonight with the black trunks with gold. When he stepped onto the scale, he went officially at 165.3 already pounds. As a professional, his record stands 2 victories against 1 defeat. 1 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight from San Antonio, Texas, put your hands together and welcome Jermaine Chico Whittington. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner. He steps in the ring tonight wearing the white trunks with orange. When he stepped onto this scale, he went officially at 166.2 solid pounds. Tonight, he enters the ring undefeated. 7 wins with 0 losses. 6 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the fighting pride of Los Angeles, California. Please welcome Knuckle Nelson Oliva. Once again, your referee in charge, Ray Corona, to get the final instructions.
Perfect here, perfect here. You want to touch gloves? Do it now. God bless.
Ray Corona, the third man of the ring. That's also the name of his podcast, a good podcast that he has. Make sure you check that out. Tail of the tape for this one, scheduled for 4 rounds.
Yeah, Oliva, a much younger man at age 27, but Whittington has the advantage in height and reach, especially the reach. He's got 5 inches in wingspan.
All right, the cameras look good, and it's not possible without Daisy Pajad, Steven Pajad, Alfred Flores, David Perez, Brian Vasquez. When we started this broadcast, they were kids. Now they're all grown up. They can actually drink now. But thank you to Daisy, Steven, Alfred, the other David, and Brian for helping us out. Great crew bringing you shots like that. Knuckle Nelson is the southpaw in the white. Do not blink. This kid comes to work quick.
I'm expecting, I mean, for as long as it lasts, I'm expecting a good scrap because with Knuckle Nelson, you got a blue-collar puncher, and with Whittington, you got a street fighter.
And Whittington says flat out, I like to slug.
Yeah, and that gym that he comes out of in San Antonio.
Ferocious boxing.
Right, Ferocious Fitness Boxing Club. That's a
work
tough
on
gym. Yeah, I mean, the guy, the trainer, Louis Villarreal, he was a former fighter. He's a tough guy.
Yeah. Ozzy and the team at CSI Security, thank you for all you've done for Thompson
Ooh, the
Boxing.
body shot. Ooh, he was frozen just for a moment, and it was the body punches.
Flash of heads also, too. Eric Velasco and Josh Parrilla, who walk out the fighters for so many years. Very vital to us. Gate City Beverage. We love them at the Corona event, the outdoor. Why? Because they bring all the drinks. And Knuckle Nelson is bringing the right hand quick here in the first round. Karen Mora, 8 years. Leonora Mendoza, 11 years with the Wilcott team. Frankie and everybody providing the gloves for the fighters, and they got Knuckle Nelson some good gloves tonight. Those white Everlasts have some pop behind them.
Yeah, youth is being served so far. Knuckle Nelson with a decided advantage in hand speed. He just looks a lot quicker than the 41-year-old Whittington.
There was a fight before last that Knuckle had his one fight that went the distance. He said that was due to his own negligence, and he said, I'm really worked on being more fundamentally sound. That's what I'm trying to do, just be more fundamentally sound, work on my jab, work on my footwork, and become more of a complete fighter. Because as we said on that fight before it went the distance, it wasn't going to always be that easy for him because he was knocking guys out really easily.
Abrams Boxing, check it in. We appreciate everything you've done for the boxing community over the years, Abrams. East Coast watching.
Oh, was that Philly's Finest?
Philly's Finest. I have
Mark
set you
Abrams?
up for that.
Yeah.
He just recently did a broadcast.
Yeah, great guy.
Maximum Headroom, check it in. Also, Drew Ruiz, who used to be a boxing scribe here in Southern California, now working in Brooklyn for a fantastic marketing company. He was part of a Nike marketing campaign. Got out of being a boxing scribe to make some money. Good for you, Drew. We didn't listen. Oh, good shot by Whittington at the end.
Right at the bell.
Yeah. There's our main event from Accra, Ghana. Benjamin Lamptey coming in, a veteran. He's our main event tonight. Still to come here at Thompson Boxing in Ontario, California.
Where's his entourage?
You don't need one.
No need.
He's from Accra. You don't need one when you're from there.
Got it.
The cradle
Azuma
of
Nelson.
boxing, yeah, the cradle of boxing for most of Africa, really.
Well, I'll tell you, Azuma Nelson had about the biggest entourage I've ever seen. Because when he fought Gabriel Ruelas here in Palm Springs in their second fight, there must have been really 20 guys who climbed into the ring after Azuma came in with drums and everything.
Yeah, he was already a living legend by that time.
Oh, yes. You know, one of the great things about Azuma and was that he was always better in a rematch than he was the first time that he fought somebody.
He was
Bernard
one of those
Hopkins
special
was kind of the same
one
way.
of those special fighters that was devastating in rematches.
Second round of action. Bethel Duran, Doug Fisher, and the one and only Rich Murata. We watching Knuckle Nelson Oliva, the undefeated fighter. Jermaine Whittington, 41-year-old scrap. And Mountain Rivera, you keep telling everybody you're buying drinks at Misty's tonight. Bro, don't be lying, all right?
Better stick around.
And I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna say Mountain Rivera has a tab. And if I gotta pay tonight, the next broadcast, I'm gonna say something. Navila Stanza caught him with a hook. Whittington, smart thing, he went down on his own, took that knee, because he knew there was an onslaught coming.
That's exactly right. He took the knee voluntarily. He felt that power.
Yeah, that was a two-piece. I think that was a hook-cross combination.
Yes, it was. Oliva, the southpaw, he works quick.
Yeah, Whittington.
And goes down again for the second time.
Whittington is not seeing that right hook.
Gets up right at 9. And who's he talking? He's talking to the corner. Is it Henry Ramirez he's looking at? All right, 2 down. Can Oliva end it here in a second? Oh, and he's looking for it. Whittington is just winging punches now. He's gonna get caught, keep doing that. And he's smartly holding on finally.
Yeah, he needs to do that.
He's got a long way to go. The round's only half over.
His legs are not under him.
Do not trade with the young Knuckle Nelson Oliva. Body work now. Oh, you can hear that.
That's it.
That got him, and it's over. Yep. Oh, man. Knuckle Nelson Oliva. He's got pop, he's got power, and he's now got 8 victories, 7 of them by a KO.
Power is a great thing to have.
But Carlos Palomino told me years ago, God's gift to a boxer is speed. And I've never seen Nelson's hands so quick as they were
I thought this was his best fight tonight. We've seen him all. And I thought this was the best he's looked.
Let's see if this is the first knockout. Knockdown. Yeah, there was a left cross followed by a short right hook. That produced the first knockdown. A voluntary knee. It was wise of Whittington, but Whittington doesn't know how to hold. And he is a street fighter. His instincts is to fire back. Left him open to those quick combinations, body and head from Knuckle Nelson.
Come back with an interview with Knuckle Nelson Oliva, Thompson Boxing in Ontario, California.
Discover the advantages of the Henry Fortifiber 123 moisture control system. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3. Choose the weather barrier, add the flashing, then finish up with the Henry Moist Top Sealant. Done. No guessing, no gambling. Just the winning confidence you get from our compatible systems.
It's time to reset where we are as a country, to challenge the status quo, to create a blueprint for how we're going to emerge stronger than before, to provide innovative and reliable solutions that lower greenhouse gas emissions while preserving our planet. Through advancement, we can combine sustainability with resilience, strength with beauty, science with performance. There's never been a better time for advancement.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 1 minute 57 seconds of round number 2. Referee Ray Corona puts a stop to this contest, declaring your winner by way of a knockout. And still undefeated, Knuckle Nelson Oliva.
Knuckle Nelson Oliva, who works construction during the week. This week he didn't. If you're driving on the 10 freeway going to Palm Springs, you see people working on the road. That's him. This week he took it off because it was 104. He said he didn't want to exhaust himself getting ready for this fight.
That was wise. But he says, Beto, that he may have to make a decision here.
The way he's going?
Yeah, because he's got a daughter, and he said, you know, I've got to make a decision because I may have to do this full time. And I think that would be the wise decision because I may have to bite down financially, you know, for a while, but he's definitely thinking about it.
And if you're a Raider fan, you know this song. This is what they play when they scored a touchdown back when they were in Oakland. I don't know if they do it in Vegas anymore. Of course, we're talking with a man who used to be the voice of the Raiders, along with the great Bill King, Rich Murata.
Oh, those were great days. I'll tell you, I enjoyed those 13 years that the Raiders were here, for sure.
My boy, the ace of SoCal, who, by the way, is looking for Kubos, our good friend Miguel Kubos out of Mexicali. Where's he at? The Raider fans are loving it. 2 more fights to go. Thanks for everybody watching us right now. As Knuckle Nelson is making his way to talk to Jessica Rosales. Josecito Lopez, I see, is here in the building. And our main event tonight, no relation, is LOUIE Lopez. Pride of Corona, California will be the main event. He's still to come. Coming up, though, next is going to be YUYU ACOSTA.
And in case you fans weren't here at the top of the show to hear our interview with Alex Campanova, the general manager of Thompson Boxing, he said that the 2 nights that they were most elated, Ken Thompson, Alex Campanova, and the people in Thompson Boxing, was the night that Tim Bradley beat Junior Witter, but also the night that Josecito Lopez defeated Victor Ortiz.
I was there.
2 shockers.
Staples Center.
Jessica Rosales.
All right, guys, he remains undefeated. His record now improves to 8-0, 7 KOs. We've got Knuckle Nelson Oliva. And you know what? Tonight you went in there and you were like, you know what, instead of 1 round, I might go 2 rounds tonight. Let's talk about tonight's performance. Doug and Rich both said that this was probably the best that they've seen you. How did you feel out there?
You know, I felt great. I knew he had one thing, which was the right hand, and physically strong, just a real higher opponent weight, and he was just looping that one shot, but yeah.
Here we are taking a look at the replay. Now, this is your first look at it. What are your thoughts watching this back?
Some things I could have done a little differently. Like, I don't know, I think I was biting too hard when he was throwing the right hand, but maybe I was just being cautious at the same time. He didn't really hurt me with any of it, but you know, you just never know when it's gonna come. I saw one of his knockouts from his fight, and it was something to watch out for, so that's what I did.
Dropping him not once, not twice, but actually 3 times in this round. And then after the fight, I saw him get up and, you know, he still kind of had a smile on his face and had a conversation. It's not every day that you knock a guy out and he still has a conversation with you. What did he say to you?
I commend him for it. You know what? It's a sport. It's at the end of the day, it's a sport. He gets to go home with his family. I get to go home with my family. It was just sportsmanship. It should always be like that. You know, we fight in the ring. We put it all out there. He wanted to keep on going, and it just wasn't his night. And unfortunately to say, it was my night, or fortunately for me.
Nelson, we got to ask you, what is going to be the next step for you now?
Oh, that's for Henry to decide. I say yes to everything. I'm ready. I want to take a bigger step. This is a sad day because I've had all my 8 fights with Thompson Boxing. I just want to say thank you to everyone in Thompson Boxing. They've always treated me with love. Alex, Paul, I can't name everyone, but Dougie.
One of those very emotional nights because of everything that's happening here tonight. But, you know, not just Thompson Boxing, but all the fans that have been there for you as well. Everyone that tunes in, every fight that you've been on. What do you want to say to all of them for all of that continued support?
Of course, just say thank you. And we don't know what we're going to do next, but it's good. I have a feeling it's going to be something big. So just keep on watching, keep on staying tuned. And I'm going to work hard for it, like I always say. And each interview is like the same thing. Like I need to start being more cocky or something, start calling out some names, but I'll save that for the next one when it's something big. But
we'll hold you to that. We're expecting some names on the next one. All right, Nelson.
All right. Well,
thank you so much for the time, and as always, congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it.
All right, right, guys. Like he said, stay tuned. We do have more fights coming up next. We got our co-main coming up. We've got George LOUIE ACOSTA and Eddie Valencia Mercado. Let's take a look back at their weigh-in.
Here we go, fight fans. Let's get the action going once again. Please welcome out of the red corner from Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico. Here is Eddie Valencia Dinamita Mercado.
Eddie Valencia Mercado, Dinamita, the veteran from Culiacan, Mexico. As he told me in the bag, it's Dinamita, but I don't have power like Dinamita. Gotta know who you are.
Yeah.
This was scheduled for 8 rounds. I feel we're gonna get 8 rounds in this one.
Oh, yeah.
Our co-feature tonight.
Well, Mercado is used to fighting a hard 8, 10 rounds. He's gone 12 rounds.
A veteran. He's been on the Pro Box shows lately in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
A veteran. He's tough.
Yeah, he's what you call a well-traveled journeyman.
And he's one of those guys who enjoys the ring walk.
Oh, yeah. Dude, this song right here, Rocky?
Yeah.
Come on now.
No, he enjoys the ring walk.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie does.
The signing paper, he fought against Otar. You're right. That was a tough loss.
And now, please welcome his opponent as he makes his way to the ring. Out of the blue corner, from Whittier, California, here is George LOUIE ACOSTA.
All right, the co-feature representing Whittier, California, but his family has roots in Los Mochis, Sinaloa. So it's Culiacan against Los Mochis tonight. Y saludos a toda la gente que nos está mirando en Sinaloa.
Right, so 2 cities, same state in Mexico, both with rich boxing history. A lot of great fighters out of those cities.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. El YUYU. Only 1 loss on his record.
Yeah, and that was 8 fights ago. And he's won all 8 of those fights, and I think he's looked really. I think it was a good decision to drop down from 135 pounds to junior lightweight.
And he has been getting better and better, and showing a little more power too, which is good.
He's that type of guy. He's very serious. He's all about self-improvement.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario, California, Thompson Boxing Promotions is proud to present the co-main event of the evening, scheduled for 8 rounds of action in the Super Featherweight Division, and being sponsored by Westlake Royal Stone Solutions, Thompson Building Materials, Omega Products International, and Infinity Bank. Your 3 judges ringside should the bout go the distance are Ron Scott Stevens, Zach Young, and Daniel Sandoval. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Ray Armendariz. Fight fans, here we go. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He steps in the ringside with the black trunks with gold. When he steps onto the scale, he went in officially at 130.8 pounds. His record as a professional stands 20 victories against 11 defeats with 6 bouts even. 7 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico, introducing Eddie Valencia Dinamita Mercado. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner. He steps to the ringside with the white trunks with the colors of Mexico. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 130.5 ready pounds. As a professional, he has 16 fights to his credit, including 15 victories against 1 defeat. 2 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Whittier, California, put your hands together and welcome George LOUIE ACOSTA.
Caballero, los cinturones están bien a los dos lados, ya les di indicaciones en la camerino, ahora espero que me obedezcan, protéjense a todo momento, choque guantes si quieren, a sus esquinas.
Our co-feature tonight, YUYU Acosta, Eddie Valencia. Let's look at the tail of the tape for this one.
Acosta's the younger man, he's the taller man, and he's got the longer reach.
8 rounds in the super featherweight. Eder Salvador, what's happening? Fitcroft, Big Bob watching us in Minneapolis. Go Vikings. Jared Sanchez says, this better be a good fight. Bro, what do you expect, man? All we do is bring you good fights, and it's free, by the way. No hidden charges.
I think this will be a competitive fight.
This should be a good one.
Well, we've seen a Hands of Stone, we've seen a Dinamita, and we've seen a one and only LOUIE.
LOUIE because his family couldn't say his name. His little sister is the one who couldn't say George, so you're calling YUYU. That's just, his given name is George, but nobody calls that. That's LOUIE. He's actually a kinesiology major at Cal State Fullerton. And in the back, Rich, again, you never know what you're going to see in boxing. You know, guys usually have the headphones or they're locked in. He's reading a book about blood cell transfusion. That's what, because he was studying, because he's taking a summer school class.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is different.
Yep.
He's a studious dude.
Yep. He's also a boxing coach, DG Boxing. So he's if you follow George's YouTube account, he teaches you how to stay fit via fitness and also your meals.
Yeah.
So go and follow him. Very a modern day aristocrat.
LOUIE, if you look back in his career, you know, I think he did a great job of rebounding from his one loss to Ruben Torres. And that was, and I talked to him about that yesterday, and he agreed that was just kind of a weird night because the two guys were friends.
Yeah.
And they made the fight like it was just for like that week, you know.
They were too familiar.
Yeah, and it just
was a
never
sparring session.
panned out. Yeah.
A lot of respect between the two.
But he's done well, and he's fought better lately, and he's been more aggressive lately, and he's been working on that. He said he feels like he's maturing as a fighter, and he got a knockout 2 fights ago, which he was really happy about.
Yeah. Yeah, only 2 KOs on his ledger for YUYU Acosta. S&E Gaming says, Fight Club OC, we're back, 8 bouts, 824. All right, if you're going to be promoting your card on our stream, we need tickets, we need food, we need drink, and we need parking, all right? So if you're going to be promoting, no, Fight Club OC does a good job down there in Orange County. So make sure you check them out, man. I appreciate you guys.
Can you get me a room?
Oh, yeah, Orange County? Right next to the fair? Newport Coast, good enough for you, Rich? Pelican Hill?
That sounds very nice.
I mean, we could settle.
Oh, excellent.
There it is.
That was really a veteran punch to the body by Mercado.
He was patient. He was waiting for Acosta to slow down a little bit, get a little, admire his work a little bit, and made him pay for that.
Yep.
You got to keep your focus with these veterans.
Pinpointed that.
Oh, winging his punches.
He actually landed that overhand right.
Good opening round, scheduled for 8. That's Aaliyah. Ringo for this one. Aaliyah also a real estate agent in Southern California. So you want to buy a house? She got you.
You know, I wanted to bring up tonight while we're between rounds, we talked a little bit about the greatest nights and the happiest nights in Thompson Boxing. I thought maybe the worst time was that show last year. And that week, 5 fights fell out.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I
didn't work that card. Yeah, but
we still had fun on the broadcast, though.
yeah.
I think we just had like
it was only
like
three
fights,
Three fights.
and two amateur fights. Yeah, that
and
was
I'd never
different.
seen Alex Campanova because they lost a fight before the weigh-in,
Yep.
they lost a fight after the weigh-in, and they lost the main event the morning of the show.
Yeah, was not cleared. The main event had a brain issue.
And he scrambled so hard to put a show together, and they never ended up canceling a fight.
No.
A show. 23 years, and that was obviously as close as you could possibly get to having to cancel the show, and the show did go on.
That's the voice of Rich Murata, the president of the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. I'm Beto Duran alongside the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, Doug Fisher. Good uppercut landed by YUYU ACOSTA.
Yeah, these are some nice combinations. Great punch selection from ACOSTA. Really good footwork. I think he's at his best when he's moving.
He's gonna have to be tested tonight because Dinamita in his 37th professional fight. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 37 pro fights. Boxing Vitals checking in. Warp Speed checking in. Clash of Heads. And you're going to see that when you have that southpaw in there.
And Mercado, I mean, he's experienced, but he's not an old guy. I mean, 32 is not old by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, he'll be fighting for another 15 years easy.
Probably.
Culiacan fighters. It's a good test for YUYU to see what he's got. This is a point of the career where what are we going to be doing? Like 16 pro fights in, like what's your next step?
I think he has the potential to at least develop into a legitimate contender at junior lightweight.
He's got to hustle in there, though.
Yes.
Because he is not blessed, like Knuckle Oliva, he is not blessed with natural power. So and when that's the case, you've got to hustle in that ring. You've got to throw a lot of punches, a lot of combinations.
And you've got to be a technician.
And he is technically adept.
He is.
Mikey V, the king of Photoshop for Boxing Photoshop, checking in. What's up, Mikey? Tu gallo aquí está, Joel Diaz, ahí un lado. Boom, yes, we are live. It's 9:44 in Ontario, California, a Friday night, our fourth fight of the night, and I don't have a cocktail yet, so do something about that, please.
That's a cry for help.
Yes, absolutely. Rich, the day you joined us, you said, I don't know what the heck is going on. And it's hot in here. It's standing room only. It is. Lights are on. The 559 checking in.
ACOSTA may have buzzed Mercado with the right uppercut.
A good right hand by ACOSTA. Another solid uppercut by YUYU at the end of the round. Good action back and forth. La mano arriba. There you see Big Surge, cutman extraordinaire, military vet, Army medic, by the way.
So
there's a cut on the eye.
Yeah, outer right eyelid. Doesn't look too bad. It is bleeding, but it doesn't look like a pouring cut.
Danza Kuduro, La Mano Arriba jamming. This is a song, Rich, where Jessica and I were working a fight in Puerto Rico. And let's just say they played the song, hey, just come out. Tito walks into the building, everybody stops, including the fighters.
Man.
Ring girl in the middle of the ring, she fell. Because Tito Trinidad walking in Puerto Rico on a Tuesday night, you're not expecting that. Again, boxing, you never know what you're gonna see.
I love those fights in Puerto Rico.
Oh my goodness.
They are fun, they are atmospheric.
Yeah.
You and I did one in 2008. Was that Juanma Lopez?
It was.
Whoa.
It was indeed.
Yeah. And he got a first round knockout in the main event.
Those are some hot nights.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, those are some hot nights in Puerto Rico, man. That humidity is no joke. But man, the
Juan
people love.
Lopez, I was wrong on
yeah.
him. I thought he was going to be a superstar.
He had that look.
He became a good champ, a good champ, but I thought he was going to really be something.
Those wars with Siri Salido, Orlando Salido, it just took it out of him. That was the wrong Mexican to mess with, man.
Siri Salido, you think?
Yeah, that's a take no prisoners, dude.
Max Headroom checking in Canada, in Halifax, says it's 145. And there was a fight in Nova Scotia today. Zanfer Boxing had a young man named Eric Robles, a strawweight, win an IBO title up there in Nova Scotia.
Zanfer has fighters everywhere, under every promotional banner. They're amazing.
Tony Picks, these broadcasters drink beers while doing the show? No, I'm asking for a beer.
No, you asked for a cocktail.
Beer, cocktail, anything right now.
You've earned it.
I think George needs to put a little more into his jab here. He's pecking and poking with it, but he's not really mean with it.
Yeah, he needs to control the distance and also get a little bit of respect. Because he's in there with the guy who, like I said, is used to fighting a hard 8, 10, even 12 rounds.
26 Sports in the 559. The Reda family appreciate you as always supporting Thompson Boxing. Good interviews as always. We'll see you soon. Some boxing in Fresno pretty soon. Sanisa Estrada next weekend. Michael Mendiola chipes in. George ACOSTA had to sparring with John Molina Jr. a few years ago.
You see what I'm saying about that jab, though? He's just kind of poking it out there.
Ooh,
that's caught.
He's stinging with the right hand, though. Yeah, he's just using the left as a measuring stick for the right, and he does need to pop it. I agree, Rich.
Because it's good. I mean, it's fast. It's quick. Why not throw it with a little oomph behind it?
Lorana Bell lets us know 10 seconds to go in the round. All right, where let's see here. Yes. You bring up Siri Salido, and the comments come in. That's a fan favorite fighter.
He was, and he earned it. I mean, I can think of 10 of his fights that were either the fight of the year or a strong fight of the year candidate.
And that's another example. If you have Sean Gibbons, Viva, in your corner, be careful.
And that's another example of don't judge this guy on his record, because his losses were in double digits. And even when he was getting long in the tooth, he was still dangerous.
I thought when Sean Gibbons said "Viva Rich" that I was really special, but then I didn't realize it.
It's a catchphrase.
Everybody.
It's Viva President Pacquiao. Viva.
Yeah.
If you see a 6'6" white guy in your corner with a 5'2" Filipino, something ain't right. And usually an upset coming your way. Yeah. Gail, of course, brings up Gail Falkenthal, fantastic scribe in San Diego, PR Pro. The 2016 fight between Vargas and Bandido Vargas and Siri Salido. I did that broadcast, I think with you, Doug, right?
I think so.
We did the international broadcast
that was
for
in
Golden
Carson.
Boy.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, we were in Salido's corner, and that's when Muhammad Ali had just died.
He died the night before.
And he came out with a special shirt and trunks on it, and they went to war. That's
unforgettable night.
That's a fight that took a lot of time and years off of Bandido.
Yes. Well, Bandido had been in a fight of the year candidate against this Japanese fighter in his previous fight. Miura. Yeah, Takashi
Miura.
Yeah. Brutal. And he pulled that one out, but
Yeah. Ace of SoCal does say that Siri is a taquero in Phoenix now, like legit taco man in Phoenix. He was, but remember, he was also an Uber driver.
He was, yeah.
And then Oscar Valdez would tell me, because he's from Sonora, that you would hear stories of Salido at the local cantinas in fights.
Oh, jeez.
Not because he was drunk or anything like that, just because somebody started a fight and he ended him.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Costa said something real interesting to me yesterday. He said, I feel like I'm maturing. I'm getting better in the ring. He goes, I've been a good gym fighter, but for some reason I can't translate it all the time into the ring when I get into the ring. I feel like I've only shown 75% of what I can do.
And that's probably I'm sure that's an honest statement, and I think a lot of fighters struggle with that.
Good right hand from ACOSTA.
Yeah, and Eddie bounces right back with a good left.
Eddie Valencia, a veteran, they say the pro's pro, right? Make it tough, make it awkward for you. You're gonna have to earn everything against him.
And he's another one. I'm telling you, we've seen a lot of guys who are well-traveled tonight. I mean, he's fought in some places I never heard of.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, but when we say well-traveled, we mean world-traveled.
What are some of the spots, Rich?
He's been in the UK, right?
I don't know if I can. Yeah, he fought in Newcastle.
Yeah, he's been in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico.
His box rec, you just keep on scrolling.
What is Guasave?
Guasave, Sinaloa. That's a small town. Oh! Costa catches him right at the end of the round. Eddie Valencia dropped. And he looks over his corner, winks, but yeah, he got caught right on the kisser.
Was that a right cross?
He's wobbly.
Looked like it does.
He is wobbly.
And the bell will get him. He'll have a full minute to recover. He's trying to touch gloves with ACOSTA. But
Oh yeah, his legs are rubbery. Even now. Yeah, I got to see this replay because
there's that improved power from George ACOSTA.
Well, I think Mercado walked into it. Let's watch.
These were the setups. Overhand right.
That was a right.
He smiled, but when he tried to get up, his legs weren't working quite right.
Woo. Excellent work by our camera crew to get to the reverse angles. Joe Pahar putting the work together. Oh yeah. Spun him around. Great replay brought to you by Hustler Casino. Of course, Joe Pahar doing everything, editing, replay, backbone of the broadcast along with California. You think we have the whole production crew? No, we have 2 guys. Yeah. And El Salvador, what up?
But we've got one great gal in the offices from the beginning, Jeanette Gonzalez.
Yes.
We owe so much to her.
She's the queen. She really is.
She does so much behind the scenes. I'm so grateful to her. She, because I have to travel obviously to these fights, and she is amazing.
Clash of Heads, they're going to check out ACOSTA, but yeah, Jeanette Gonzalez, you cannot say enough. The epitome of a professional. You love to work with her. From the first day here, it's Bethel, what do you need? I'm like, nothing. It goes above and beyond for you.
Yes,
for not just us, the broadcasters, but for the fighters, the fans, everybody behind the scenes. If everybody would have run into a Jeanette Gonzalez in your life, you're better for it.
Right, we all thank her. I mean,
and if you've ever seen Alex Campanova running around, it was because Jeanette told him, go get something done. And she's probably saying, Beto, shut up, stop talking about me already. But Jeanette, you deserve that and then some.
that was a really good knockdown by ACOSTA. A solid knockdown, a real knockdown, not a flash knockdown.
Well, I think the right hand landed kind of high on the head, so it was like a temple shot.
That's the one that makes you dizzy.
Yeah, an equilibrium shot. And he maybe Mercado's legs are still a little shaky.
I don't think George is too defensive or sensitive about his knockout record.
No, he brings it up.
But, he said to me, a lot of my opponents come up to me and say, you hit a lot harder than I thought you were going to when I saw your record.
But also for ACOSTA, who wasn't a highly touted prospect coming out of amateurs or anything like that, he's been tough. He's been matched tougher than most any fighter that Thompson has.
That's true.
They've been giving him those battle-tested Mexican fighters with the ugly records since day one. It hasn't been anything easy. Very solid fundamentals, ACOSTA. He's a college student, very cerebral too when he's in that ring. All right, right now, it's Friday night, about to be 10 o'clock on the West Coast. Where are you watching from? In honor of Mr. Thompson, who always loved to know where people are watching, let us know where you're watching from to check in. This is your roll call. Yeah. Acosta, he was on a Tutu Zavala show in Florida where he got that knockout, and it was like he went as the opponent, came out and impressed.
Yeah, the guy he was fighting was considered a prospect as well.
Aaron Parker in Sacramento, Gale, of course, in San Diego, Kyle in Austin, Texas, Tyler, Texas, Fresno, Florida, Whittier. All right, Whittier. George Acosta's from Whittier. How come you're not here, bro? Come on now. El Centro, California is only 185 degrees. Mildred, Missouri, the Ozarker.
Oh, that's where the Ozarker's from?
Yeah, Mildred. Where's that at?
I have no idea. But if he's from the Ozarks, shout out to him.
Davin Gabriel in New Orleans. Oh, Davin, what's happening? Kyle Smith in Long Beach. Sarasota, Florida. Tito Trinidad. Okay, the other Tito in Pittsburgh. Rankin County. Wart Speed in Salinas, California. The rodeo this week. Nah, man, it's too many people. I ain't going that. Ramon Estrada in Bakersfield. San Pedro. Eric Santiago in Niagara Falls. Jose Serrano in El Paso. Chuco. Give us the Chuco's Tacos. Eddie Aguilera. What's up, Eddie? Missed you, man. You make some great boxing trunks. B1 at the Fan Fe Springs Swap Meet. Chris Platt in Manchester. So are you a City fan or are you a United fan?
Whichever way he goes, them's fighting words.
I think it's over.
And the fight is done.
It's
Eddie
like his eyes are bothering.
Valencia tells the corner, I am done. And YUYU Acosta gets the stoppage as Eddie Valencia retires on his stool. Something's bothering him in his eye. He can't see. Coming up next, our main event, LOUIE LOPEZ, Ben Lamptey. Continue with the shadows. Gonzalez in Chile. Vanessa Ramirez, Santana. A lot of Santana people. Archbishop Stubbs in KC. What's up? Chuy Beltran on the 15 freeway going to Vegas. Fort Worth, Texas boxing scene. That and more. Miguel Navarro in Rosarito, Silmar, California. That and more coming up at Thompson Boxing.
Experience Makita's cordless outdoor power equipment. The mower is a part of the world's largest battery system and cuts non-stop for up to 2 miles. The self-propelled model makes mowing effortless. Get unstoppable power without the hassles of gas. Reach speeds of up to 116 miles per hour with the single battery blower. One system, endless possibilities. Now get 2 extra free batteries.
Live from the Hustler Casino in Gardena, California. Watch the most well-known local and international poker players take the stage and go all in. From low stakes to high stakes, the action will be wild. Tune in to Hustler Casino Live, streaming 5 days a week on YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at the end of round number 5. The opponent could not answer the bell, declaring your winner by way of a knockout from Whittier, California, George El YUYU Acosta.
El YUYU gets the stoppage He'll be talking to Jessica Rosales in a bit.
And now he stopped 2 of his last 3 opponents. There
He's
you
got to
go.
be feeling good about that.
So it was an eye issue for Eddie Valencia, as they're going to be checking with him right now. Michael Panza watching us in Brooklyn, New York. Eder Salvador in Inglewood. Hey, by the way, Eder, Circle of Trust, the guy YUYU is sponsored by Tequila Mandala. Devin Gabriel, LSU, go Tigers. David Sandoval at Riverside. Manhattan, New York City checking us in. Paul Banky, of course, he's here. Jose Solis in Indianapolis. Go Indy. All right. Me dicen el Sinaloense is the song that's playing right now, as they're making way for YUYU to go talk to Jessica Rosales, or you see him. Coming up next, our main event, Louie Lopez and then Benjamin Lamptey. Shout out to Dominican Power Boxeo. Unconditional love, we're gonna miss you too.
Hey guys, I want to say I've really enjoyed working with you as a team. Beto, Doug, Jessica, it's been fantastic. I've had a chance to work with some great announcers along the way. Beto mentioned Tom Kelly, and of course I worked the years with the great Barry Tompkins, and also
one of my favorites,
Sean O'Grady, and Alan Masson, Gail. And I've enjoyed this series as much as I have any in my whole career. Working with you guys has been very, very special. I've really enjoyed it. It's wonderful.
Well, I'm not going to get emotional.
Yeah.
Not emotional yet, because we got one more fight to go. And if I get emotional, Jessica's going to beat me up. Jessica Rosales, you got a YUYU.
George El YUYU Acosta gets the stoppage tonight. You've now stopped 2 of your last 3 opponents. So tell us about tonight's performance, how you feel about it.
Yeah, I think today was a good performance in the aspect that I had to adjust the last 2 rounds. My coach was like, hey, there's no need, because we got a headbutt. My coach was like, hey, be careful with the headbutt. You could just outbox this guy, just box with him. We knew he was dangerous. He's never been stopped before, and he's fought really tough opponents. So we went in there with a mentality that we're gonna go all rounds. Like, we're gonna go all the rounds. You know, if I hurt him in the first or second round, don't go for the kill, because he's gonna be durable for the 8 rounds. You know, so that's what we went in there with. I dropped them in I don't even know what round it was, the 4th or 5th.
Thank you so much. We're gonna have to end this interview very quickly, but.
Paul, are you good, Paul? Are you good, Joe Pajar? California Joe Pajar. We had to cut that interview quick. The reason is that the doctors are working on Eddie Valencia. And because they're working on Eddie Valencia's eye, it's in that location where Jessica's doing the interview. So out of precaution for the fighter and the doctors, we wanted to move everybody out of that way. And because Acosta has a big crowd around him, the doctors are like, we need to clear this area. So that's why the Acosta interview was cut short. So no disrespect to George.
Right.
We love you, George. We'll see if we're going to try to get that. But out of precaution for Eddie Valencia, who we saw stop the fight on his own, guys. And not only did one doctor, 2 doctors helped him walk off of the stairs.
Right.
So out of precaution, they're working on him back there. And at the end of the day, we're always going to err on the side of precaution for a fighter.
Yeah, you know, I wondered that because he was complaining about like double vision or impaired vision in that left eye, but there was no cut or swelling, and it looked like he was trying to tell the ringside physician that it was after a headbutt. So I think, you know, maybe they worry about a concussion or something, because, you know, you can get that impaired vision with a concussion.
Well, there were 3 headbutts during the course
Yeah, there
of
were.
the fight. Yes.
Yeah, those are dangerous.
That were pretty clear.
All right, Weston Wells. That ain't weak, bro. We're looking on precaution for the fighter, man. Look at you. So that's why the lights went out. So we are full transparency. Apologies to Team YUYU ACOSTA and his squad. But at the end of the day, we're going to err on the side of precaution for the fighter. And look, at the end of the day, you got to do what the doctors tell you to do. So we turn the lights out for him. But where the show does go on, because our main event is here. The last fight ever for Thompson Boxing. After 23 years of business, LOUIE LOPEZ and Benjamin Lamptey is going to be the main event. And right now, before we get to that fight, because the doctor is still working, so we can't have a fight going. Rich, we said this in the beginning of the broadcast, and yesterday you said some nice tweets about this, about how we're involved with this. But the last one this week felt weird, right? Like you're preparing for the fight, but at the same time, knowing it's coming to the end. And in this sport, we never get to say goodbye.
Right, and you know, I always have such a great feeling coming to these shows.
Yeah.
I look forward to it. And I think my feeling like that is reflective of all of these fans, because this has become kind of a family type thing. And it was very weird because of the fact that the thing is coming to an end tonight, the conclusion of Thompson Boxing, a long-running, wonderful series. And so it's almost like a loss of a family member, something, and somebody you really look forward to seeing. But even tonight, as you know, I mean, there's something missing without Ken here, without Ken Thompson here, without him greeting the fans, without him jumping up into the ring and congratulating.
That's true.
Congratulating the fighters. And so, you know, it's been a good card. It's been, and that's a fitting way to end it. We've seen good competitive fights with the young developing fighters, and so it was just I just felt weird, as Beto, that was the right word, Beto. Weird this week, because it was going to be the last time that we're going to enjoy this particular series, this particular atmosphere, the environment here.
Yeah, it's like mixed emotions.
Exactly.
You know, there's this melancholy sort of feel.
Bittersweet, I guess.
Yeah,
we're on
the
camera now.
thing is, I mean, we've all been around long enough where you don't say goodbye in boxing. You know what I mean?
Well, like, Doug, let me tell you one further.
Right.
In broadcast, you never say goodbye.
That's what I'm saying.
You get fired. Rich worked many years.
But then you get reunited.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And nobody ever mentions it after.
Yeah.
Right.
They just disappear.
I first worked with you and Jessica in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It was like a Fox Sports show, you know?
9 years ago.
Yeah, and I worked, like I said, I worked with you in Puerto Rico, but even before that on some of Top Rank's international broadcasts, and when they first started streaming undercards of big shows, I remember, you know, at the MGM.
3 in the afternoon we'd be there.
Yeah, so, you know, and who would have thought that, you know, whatever, 10 years later, we'd be doing these shows here at the DoubleTree and in Corona and all, so something will happen. Like, listen, Thompson Boxing ceasing operations, it leaves a huge void, but it's only natural for someone or something to fill that void, you know. And
well, I certainly hope that's the case.
Yeah, someone needs to step up, and it'll be good. But most importantly, it's good for these young fighters, because not all of them are blue chip prospects, but they become somebody if they keep on working at it. You never know. Like the Hall of Famer Tim Bradley, not in attendance tonight, but he just sent a nice message on his social media about how Thompson Boxing gave him the opportunity and developed him and got him to where he had to be.
I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah,
that's true. He couldn't get signed by any of the big promoters. He wasn't signed by Top Rank or Main Events or Don King or Golden Boy Promotions or whoever would, you know, were the big shots at the time. He needed a Thompson Boxing to give him a place to develop and to prove that he was special. Yep. And even then, you know, he was that guy that everybody doubted. And like I said at the start of the broadcast, I think one of the big, a big part of the Thompson Boxing legacy is they were backing the underdogs. And you brought up Josecito Lopez, the Riverside Rocky, beating Victor Ortiz. I mean, nobody thought he was going to beat Ortiz.
He ended up fighting Canelo.
He gets a shot at Canelo, September 2012 in Las Vegas. And listen, you know, Canelo's a junior middleweight and a future Hall of Famer, and he gets, you know, he stops Lopez, but Lopez actually competed. He was actually in there scrapping with him and made for a great fight. And it's just, it's stories like that I think is a big part of the Thompson Boxing legacy.
I'll never forget how shocked I was when Bradley fought Junior Witter, and he scored that knockdown, which I think came in around the 6th round or something.
Yeah, right in the middle of the fight. Big overhand right. Boom.
And it was like, oh my God, this kid might actually
He's
pull it
here to
off.
win. Like, he's not just showing up, which is like, wow, yeah.
Hartford, Connecticut, 357, watching, appreciate you. And some of you are watching this stream for the first time. You've come across it because people were sharing it. Thanks everybody who shared it. The reason that we're going down memory road is because tonight Thompson Boxing is going to cease operations. We have one more fight to go. After 23 years in the business here in Southern California, Thompson Boxing will be closing its doors. It was a business decision made a couple months ago after the passing of the great Ken Thompson at the age of 85, who was a big advocate for the sport of boxing. Not just for his own fighters on the Thompson Boxing umbrella, but any fighter that you could possibly think of. Ken had a hand in helping them and getting support and whatever you need, because he was the former president of the California Boxing Hall of Fame.
The World Boxing
Hall. The World Boxing Hall of Fame. I gotta get it right though. And one thing about that is, you know, if you're watching for the first time, you're like, man, where's this stream been? Well, you know, this day and age of losing money, this broadcast was losing money because it was free. And Mr. Thompson said, I don't care. I want fans from around the world to know what we're doing here at the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario. And it might be a local show, but in the last 6 years, we've grown it to be a worldwide show because of the people that are able to watch it. And we know this, you're hardcore fans, you love them, and I've said it many times, you're either, as Doug would say, a boxing sicko, or you're related. Sometimes you're both, but we appreciate you, the fans, so we have one more fight to go. Now, the social media accounts, you can always follow them. The YouTube fights, you can always go back and watch them. And I started coming to these shows when I started in the business in the 2001. I came as a fan. I was working for the late Johnny Ortiz radio show, and he's like, hey, do you want to go to a fight in Ontario? I'm like, for what? Like, there's fights in Ontario. I'm like, I live in I'm like, what's in Ontario?
Yeah.
Came out here
on Mondays.
Came out here. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, these are the real fights. And then when I became a broadcaster in boxing 9 years ago, I was still cutting the fights. It was like, it was so much fun. And the thing about this, the Thompson shows always felt like family, Doug. Every single time you walk in, it's like, hey, that's so-and-so. Hey, that's so-and-so. That's so-and-so. And we get that every single time we walk into the building.
Yeah, and it's so rare that at any point of any career or even your lifetime, you get to work with people that you not only respect, that you like. Like, there's no jerks. Like, everybody is cool. That is so rare in any profession, you know what I mean? And so it's something that I definitely valued for the past 5 or 6 years.
And I especially enjoyed the great big lunches that we had.
Oh my goodness. The filet mignon at 2 o'clock. First of all, a shout out to the people at Porter's, the restaurant. Those chicken wings are the best pound for pound out there. We crushed them, get going. Warp Speed, you gotta be a jerk today. Ain't nobody trying to cry here, bro. You're better than, oh no, I'm sorry, not Warp Speed. Warp Speed, you're good. Weston Wells, I'll give you your 2 seconds of acknowledgement. Yeah, we're gonna cry. You know why? Because it's over, bro. And who are you gonna troll on a Friday night if we're not here? We're acknowledging you. You're welcome. So there you go, Weston Wells. Now, Warp Speed, no, you do good, my man. But one of all the things that I've done here, Rich and Doug, is the amount of trainers that have come here that started their careers have gone on to bigger, yet still come back. I'm looking at Joel Diaz, who started with Tim Bradley here. Henry Ramirez, who was like a 12-year-old trainer when he was here in the building. You know, Marcos Caballero would bring fighters. You would see Hector Lopez down with TKO Boxing, trains Alexis Rocha, had some young fighters where they knew, hey, Robert Garcia would have guys, or whoever it is, like, look, we have guys locally that we can need to groom them.
Danny Zamora,
who brings some guys up. You know, Eddie Hernandez, who had Daniel Roman, who's here in attendance here.
He's here, yeah.
So many fighters, because they knew that here they were gonna get match tough, and it was gonna be an honest day's work, and also it was gonna be professional. It might be a smaller show, Doug, but it always felt world class.
Yeah.
And we've been around some places where it's like, uh-oh, are we getting paid tonight?
Right, you don't have to chase down the person for your check. They give you your check, but going back to the fighter's development, it's also the activity.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of club shows, they go like quarterly or every other month, and Thompson Boxing was always doing like 10 or 11 shows a year.
And not
That's
only
a big
that,
deal.
but they set a schedule at the beginning of
Yes,
the year.
at the
They
very
set
start.
their dates
Yeah.
for the whole year, so people could plan ahead. I mean, you can really.
They
and
had that
is
corporate
extremely
organization.
unusual.
Yeah, which most boxing companies do not have.
Yeah, this is the blue collar one, and Mr. Thompson with a background in construction. So the reason it started at 8 o'clock is he wanted his workers a chance to get off of work, go home, shower up, and enjoy a Friday night at the fights. BD Sniper in Canada, Christian Dominguez, appreciate you checking everything else. And Warp Speed, appreciate you as always, everything else that you guys have done for us. And Davin Gabriel, Wayne Boudreaux, heck of a fighter out of Louisiana. There was talks of bringing him back eventually.
Yeah, I want to see him.
Yeah, so good luck.
Whenever he comes back, wherever he comes back.
And also, the characters that have come in on the B side. There's been some dudes that have put on shows and upsets. Our boy Miguel Cubos, who fought from light heavyweight to cruiserweight to heavyweight, who watches all the time. Our good friend Bonilla out of Guadalajara, who brings some fighters. So it's always been an opportunity for you to get going. And and we started at the top of the show, like with talking about the memories of what's going on, and it really is your fight after 23 years. And Rich, you said something too that Mr. Thompson told you in the beginning. When you want to start something, what did you tell him about starting a promotion company?
Well, I thought he was nuts.
Yes. Simple as that.
It's just being honest. It's like, dude.
How many promoters? How many celebrities?
Nobody
how many rock
laughs.
stars
Nobody
come
laughs.
in?
Nobody laughs.
They're all going to come in and reinvent the wheel, and it just doesn't happen. You get a little taste of it, you lose a little money, and as fighters start dropping out, this and that happens. It's a tough business. It's a ruthless business, and there's very few people who are going to give you a hand. They don't want you to succeed.
Yeah, well, that's another thing, is like, to be in this business, you really got to be committed. You got to love it. And there are a lot of folks who do last, but after like 10 years or so, they don't really love it because they let the toxicity of the business and fandom and all that get to them. And they, they operate out of spite, you know what I mean? Or it's just a business. It's just about the bottom line. And Mr. Thompson never lost his passion, never lost his love, and was never dragged into the mud. Like he was always positive, always positive.
Yeah, and
very rare.
What an unfortunate time we find ourselves in, because right now Eddie Valencia injured. Doctors had to work on him. Paramedics are working on him. So that's the delay right now, because we can't have the fight until we have the doctors and the paramedics in place. So
what do you think about Spence and Crawford then?
There it is, Dougie. There it is. Spence and Crawford. Go ahead, Eddie.
Hey, I want to talk about Fulton Inoue first. That's happening on early Tuesday.
Feel free. Cocktails.
It's
two great matches.
Yeah, both matchups are one of these the type of matchups where stylistically they're going to be entertaining fights. They're going to be high level, elite level, ring generalship, technique, boxing craft, but also they're power punching, guys letting their hands go, getting in the trenches. I favor Inoue in Japan. He's going to have to really work hard for it, but I think he's going to, he's going to bring his A game. Obviously, he's going to be motivated at home. Fulton is going to be a Philly fighter. He's going to box and he's going to fight. But I like Inoue by late stoppage. And I flip-flop on Spence Crawford. I like Crawford. I think he's the more versatile of the boxers. I think he's a little bit more of an accurate puncher with the power punch and a very good finisher. But Spence is as strong and sturdy as they come, even after that car accident. And with that style of his, which is a technical pressure fighting style and volume punching, if you can't hurt him, if you can't stop him, it's very hard to outpoint a forward-marching volume puncher who is as good of a technician as Spence is. And Spence is pretty good to the body, too.
Now, what time is that fight?
The Spence Crawford
No,
fight?
the Inoue fight.
I think out here, right around 5 a.m., 5:30.
All right.
These guys are worth getting up for.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think Inoue is going to win that fight. I think Fulton's a very good fighter, very good champion. But Inoue, there's very special,
yes.
I think. And that's it. This guy has got unworldly power. I mean, he's a freak of nature when it comes to power.
He's a gunslinger, and he's quick on the draw, and he knows when to pull the trigger. I think it's his timing as much as it is his speed and power.
Yeah, so I agree with you on the outcome of both fights. I think Inoue wins it, and I think
I'm favoring Crawford.
Crawford will win a tense and intense chess match. When I say chess match, I don't mean it as in a derogatory fashion. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think it'll be along the lines of a Leonard Benitez a fight.
It's a good analogy.
Where you had two guys who could really box, who really knew what they were doing. And in the end, that fight still ended up in a knockout.
Yeah.
You know, for Sugar Ray.
15th round.
Yeah, right, for Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
So I think Spencer Crawford will be along those lines, with Crawford eventually prevailing.
Yeah,
Beth Durant, Rich Murata, Doug Fisher.
I think Crawford knows that he might have to get a knockout, if not score some knockdowns.
That's next weekend, huh?
That's next Saturday.
Man, I'm tempted to go to Vegas for Crawford, just as a fan, because I've been waiting for that fight for so long.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah, way too long. I'm tempted to go.
The sport has enjoyed a good year, I think. With the exception of the heavyweights, I really decry what has happened with the heavyweight division.
Oh, my goodness.
And the guys just fighting everybody.
Well, none of the elite guys have fought yet.
Yeah,
right?
except
Yeah, they're fighting on Instagram.
Right.
Like Deontay and Andy Ruiz. Oh, geez, I get it.
What's up with that?
I get it. All right, let's go.
But the year's been good. We've had a series of good fights. We've had meaningful fights. Yeah. You know, Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia. We're getting Canelo again. I mean, this is...
Yeah, Canelo versus Jermell Charlo. I like that. I like that matchup. I'm not hating on Jermell Charlo coming up 2 weight classes because he's like 6'1", 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
he is the most identical twin, and his brother fights comfortably at 160. I think at the very least, Jermell Charlo could fight comfortably at middleweight. He's probably going to feel really good fighting at super middleweight.
Yeah, he won't have to squeeze down to 154.
Canelo hasn't looked like very sharp in like maybe his last 3 or 4 fights.
Right.
You know, I think he's slowing down a little bit.
I think personally he's in a slow decline.
He's 33.
Yeah,
he's hit the point where there's some diminishing returns there, so that makes it interesting.
He was a pro at 15.
15, right.
He's been boxing half of his life.
Yes.
And then some.
And he's done everything that you can do at boxing, so I think it's hard for him to get up for some of these fights.
But hopefully he gets up for Jermell Charlo, because Charlo is a warrior.
We can all get up for $40 million. Raul in Puerto Rico, saludos al boricua que está mirando ahorita. We're moments away from our main event. Eder Salvador, please somebody send the Tequila Mandala. YUYU ACOSTA, sponsored by Tequila Mandala. We can get that. That's it. We're waiting on the doctor and the paramedics to get clearance.
Yeah,
so
hopefully Eddie Valencia is okay. Hopefully it's nothing serious, you know.
Here we go.
Because you never know, a guy can get hurt in there, and it's just okay. It's vision impairment right now, and then later it's a headache, and then, God forbid, it gets worse or whatever.
All right, so we got the editor-in-chief of the Ring Magazine, Rich Murata, president of the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. What's the update on that, Rich?
This year we're undergoing some changes in the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, and holding off the yearly induction for an additional year. The Las Vegas and Nevada sports landscape has completely changed from when I first founded the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, the only sports in Las Vegas were UNLV and boxing.
Yeah. Right.
And it has completely changed. It has completely exploded. It's become very crowded. And the Golden Knights, obviously, the Raiders coming in, the Pro Bowl's been there 2 years, Formula One is coming, Super Bowl is coming. Yeah. It's a very crowded sports landscape. So we're working on ways in which the format for the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame will work, and so that it can be again an annual type induction situation, and where it can fit in a much more crowded sporting landscape now in Las Vegas.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, good luck to you, Rich, with all that other good stuff. Doug, what's the latest magazine we got?
Well, Spence Crawford is our cover, and late last year we made the tough decision to discontinue the monthly print magazine, but I was really happy to bring back a print edition of this month's Ring magazine.
which has been selling well. Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So there'll be special editions.
I'll send you one.
Yeah, and I think going
that
forward,
makes sense.
When there's a demand, you know, for a print edition, we'll do that. Maybe the Canelo Charlo fight, it's happening far enough, you know, away. You know, at the end of September, gives us time to print it and to sell it. Maybe we'll do it for that one. And maybe for some special issues, you know,
a Roy Jones Jr. special, a Roberto Duran special, or you know, one of these other living legends like a George Foreman.
Yeah, the special ones are awesome. Like when you had that monster cover a few years ago, that looked like a comic book. That was fantastic.
Yeah. I still have goals for print editions. One of them that I thought about years ago, I still want to do, is an entire edition where we don't so much have photographs. We have illustrations.
Oh,
you
nice.
know, whether it's sketches or paintings or even AI generated
type graphics or whatever, and see what we can do just artistically with the magazine.
Well, you know, your last edition that you had that kind of 1920s look to it. Oh man, I loved it.
Yeah, with Jack Dempsey on the cover.
Yeah.
And it was the logo, and you know, it was the style of the magazine as it was 100 years ago.
So how do you buy the special editions?
Just go to ringtv.com, go to our Ring shop, and it'll be right there. Or go to ringmagshop.com.
Yeah, and make sure you follow the Twitter account, which does a great job tweeting out the links to the stories. And St. Wainwright and a bunch of the other scribes that you have there do a great job.
They work hard.
They work hard. Yeah. And look, it's sad that it's not there, but at the same time, were any of you actually reading the magazine? Nah, you're going online and reading it. It's 2023.
It's hard. Yeah, magazines are hard to find these days.
And if you want, look, we all have it right here on the phone, bro. We're interacting with you, so like we don't need that. As who's the guy in Niagara Falls that wants shout out? Eric Santiago. There's your shout out, bro. It's 1:30 in the morning. You get your shout out right there. All right. So we're moments away from getting our main event coming. 23 years of boxing for Thompson Boxing will be shutting down in less than a half an hour. It's crazy. It's end of an era, but it's great. All good things must come to an end, and then we could talk about it and about the amount of fighters. Rich was talking about the forum fights where you saw the Ruelas brothers, Chicanito, and Oscar making his debut at the forum, and just so many different things. But you got to evolve. Got to keep on moving, right, Rich?
That's right. Yes, and I'm sure something will happen. And this is not the end of club fighting in Southern California.
No, there's too many gyms. There's too much talent out here, and there's too many boxing fans.
Right.
Something will fill the void.
Well, you also and this is where full transparency. You have the OC Fight Club with Roy Engelbrecht. You have Marv Nation that puts on shows locally.
Tom Loeffler's 360.
Tom Loeffler's 360s at the Commerce Casino. And the Commerce Casino is blowing up recently for a lot of different fights. Golden Boy now has more fights in Southern California. I saw the other day, I think Lorano, the timekeeper, was working a fight in Simi Valley.
Simi Valley,
yeah, there was a fight out there. So the small shows are out there.
I hope we're not leaving anybody. Yeah, there's Bash Boxing. Right?
He still does his shows
Steve
out there,
Bash,
Steve Bash, and good luck to all those small promoters that are plugging away, getting things out there. Infinite Boxing Series, they're doing it at the Lab Thunder Studios in Long Beach. NGBA Boxing is the account, and there's so many awesome small gyms that are producing fights. They're not necessarily producing professionals, but they're getting the kids out of the street, like Jackrabbit Boxing in Long Beach, or Hill Street Boxing still doing stuff, and TK1. So all the shout out to all the boxing coaches that are putting money into these young men and women to stay out of the streets and they find something to have.
Yeah, and gives them discipline, gives them a sense of purpose and self-esteem.
How much do you think the success of Thompson Boxing, this series, was because they came out to this area, and did not go into Los Angeles, for example. Although something I never knew was that in the second year of Thompson Boxing, they did a show at the Forum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like their third or fourth show. They drew 5,000 fans.
Was the DoubleTree okay with that?
They did one show at the Forum.
Now, I think this is a great location,
But
though,
this was
'cause there's so many boxing gyms out here, out around this area, whether it's, Pomona or not too far in the, Palm Springs, Coachella,
Right.
Indio area.
Well, they came out here when the area was starting to boom, so they've seen the area around here grow up
Yeah.
with Thompson Boxing. Of course, B1 says Maywood Gym. Of course, Charles Huerta and Dan Mondo do a good job with Maywood Boxing.
Yeah.
A lot of good sparring. That's where Rudy Hernandez takes the Japanese fighters that Mr. Honda sends. And if you can fight at Maywood, you can fight anywhere.
Yeah, they learn the Mexican style of fighting. They learn it's international. They get to mix with fighters, obviously from America, Southern California, but also from South America, and obviously from Mexico, and it makes them better.
Toby Bartlett, watching in the UK at 6:30 in the morning. R.I.P. Ken
You're a real
Thompson.
one.
Thank you, Thompson Boxing. Toby, hopefully you're having a pint. And as Rich Murata would say, with Liverpool, you'll never walk alone, Rich.
There it is. I was watching the British Open today, and they played "You'll Never Walk Alone."
That's all you need. That's all you need. So, but that's another thing, as we are feeling right now. This is called professional field kids. And I think this is Mr. Thompson looking down at it and saying, well, Beto, I'm paying you guys. I'm going to get every penny out of you. So you're going to be talking as much as you can.
We should have all brought our tap dancing shoes, though, tonight.
Oh, we're doing it. This is why, okay, pro tip to young broadcasters. Learned it from Rich Murata 9 years ago. Always wear comfortable shoes. And always ask, are they going to show your full body? Because if they show your pants, then you got to have nice dress shoes. If they don't, wear the sneakers. I got my running shoes on today. I am comfortable. Thanks to Rich. The things you need to learn as a broadcaster.
Speaking of being comfortable, I'm buttoning my top
you
button,
too?
man. Yeah.
Jeez, I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah.
It was a bit warm.
Yeah, it's a bit warm. All right, good. Now we're good here. All right, now we can start drinking. All right, so so if you're watching right now, the delay is because we're waiting for the doctors and the paramedics to get back in their spots to able to get our main event going with Louie Lopez and Benjamin Lamptey, the last fight ever for Thompson Boxing.
Think about those fighters. They got to stay warm. Like, they can't get cold, but they can't get too worked up. They're not sure when they're stepping in there.
Well, I worked the fight last week at Zanford show in Mexico City, where we had knockout, main event comes. They weren't ready. So you talk about professional feel, how about 55 minutes of professional
really?
feel?
Oh, wow.
Because by the time the co-main got knocked out, they still weren't wrapping hands.
Oh, jeez.
And we're live on the zone, so you just got to keep on going.
Did that guy look good? Picasso?
Picasso looks solid.
Featherweight, junior featherweight?
Yeah, junior featherweight.
Seems
David
like
Picasso.
he's got some talent.
He's got a following.
Oh, does he?
Oh, he has a following. So he now becomes.
We might see him stateside soon.
Yeah.
Huh?
Also, Rafa Espinoza is going to be stateside pretty soon. The 122-pounder. So Zanford has some good fighters down in Mexico. They'll be bringing them. I was down there with Hector Lopez, TKO Boxing, and he has a couple good kids that are out there.
That's good.
You good, bro? You all right? Okay, good. You good? You good? Yeah, just keep on going, bro.
It's good to see the kids.
So what you get? What you get? All right, they're giving out gloves here. All right, cool, bro. Thanks. All right, Cambosos and Maxie Hughes this weekend in
Should be
Tulsa.
fun. Yeah, but in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oh well. Neutral territory. No home cooking.
No, not at all.
Should be a good fight though. Maxie Hughes is he's on a win streak, and Cambosos coming off back-to-back losses to Devin Haney, but Devin Haney is a very special talent. Maxie Hughes kind of more of Cambosos' style. You know, a guy who comes to mix it up.
All right, what's Cambosos' deal? Has he still got something left?
We'll see. We'll see, because I mean, he became an undisputed champion, and he made a buttload of money fighting in Australia with those two fights against Haney. But
sorry to cut you off,
we'll
Doug.
see if he's still hungry.
Here we go. Look, Jess. This is why Jessica Rosales is the best in the business.
The best in the business.
She heard me asking for a beer. She brought me a beer.
Call for
Jessica doesn't drink, so I don't. This might be the first time she's ever bought a beer. So salud.
I didn't know how to ask for it.
And she actually bought it. Jess, you want to start talking? No, you don't have to go back there. Here, get a headset. You can start talking with us, Jess. Doug needs a break. There you go. Here, get your Pepsi down. Doug needs a break. Oh no, we got a handheld. There we go. Doug is. There you go. Yeah. What up, Jess?
What's up? I'm not going to be able to hear you. I had my earpiece in, so I could hear an echo going on. And
So this is called professional fill as we're waiting for the doctors and the paramedics.
Yes, it is.
Okay, what happened with YUYU back there?
you know what? I just know that I was told, obviously we have an emergency going on and that we have to stop the interview. We had to stop the interview very abruptly. And we were told to cut everything. So, that's what we had to do. Obviously, we always put the safety of the fighters first, and we have to do what we have to do. So that's what happened in that instance.
Jessica, we've been talking about our favorite memories of Thompson Boxing. Do you have a favorite memory of your time?
You know what? As weird as it sounds, I would probably have to say my time in the bubble.
Yeah.
That's
fun, right?
That whole experience was just so different. It was very Twilight Zone vibes. We were in our Twilight Zone era. But it was very fun to be a part of that. And it was very cool that Thompson Boxing continued the fights during that time when there was so much uncertainty. There were so many people that weren't quite sure what was happening in sports. And to me, the weirdest part was obviously at the top of the show, I always introduce the fights that are coming up next. And it's very weird having the A-side and the B-side fighters and having to talk about their losses when it is so quiet and
That's
they can
true,
hear every word
that
I'm
makeshift
saying.
studio.
Their eyes were just on me and I felt so bad.
We were in a construction warehouse surrounded by pallets.
Yes,
and it
we
was
were.
120 degrees, one of those fights.
Yeah,
that's true.
The exact temperature, it was 115 inside the warehouse.
Yeah.
And we also had to wear gloves
and the mask,
because of all of the safety protocols.
Yeah.
My hands were sweating so bad, you guys.
I feel like we all got closer.
We did.
You know?
We did.
Yeah. It was a bonding experience.
Yeah. We had to stay in our rooms. We were communicating through Morse code across the doors, like knocking. And,
We would sneak out and party a little bit every now and
but
then.
it was fun though, and I would say that that's probably one of my best memories of being in this. And,
All right, so real quick, Texas Boxing says that the fight for Cambosos is in Shawnee, Oklahoma, nowhere near
Oh,
Tulsa.
not Tulsa, okay.
Let me get you this. I'm from LA. If it ain't LA, I don't know where it's at, all right? Jessica, what kind of beer did you buy me?
I think it's a Stella.
Oh, okay.
She got money.
All right. And have you ever bought a beer before?
I haven't. I walked up to the guy and I was like, how much does beer cost? I had no clue.
She doesn't drink, so she doesn't
This is not my world, but I mean, Beto asked for it. I've known this guy for such a long time. We've worked together for such a long time. I know how cranky he gets when he doesn't get what he wants. So I was like, all right, I will get you your beer.
All right, remember, we worked with Rich 9 years ago in Chicago. Your final Thompson show with Rich Murata. Come on now, the legend here.
I know, it's like full circle for me because I remember when I was talking to Rich about my interviews, he told me, always ask something about the fight and always ask what's gonna come next. And I wrote that down and I've kept it in the back of my notebook ever since we first worked together. And I always make sure to do that. And secretly, I'm like, man, I hope Rich is proud.
You're a good teacher.
That was Ronnie Rios against Andrew Cancio in Chicago. Jessica, the fight is gonna be ready to go. Our main event time. Thank you so much. She'll be doing interviews. The best in the business, Jessica Rosales. And I owe her a drink. Maybe some bubbles later on. Get out of here, Rosales. Get to work. Go take care of Silvio.
I know once again. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we want to recognize the VIPs that are in attendance. When I call your name, please make your way to the ring to be recognized. We have people here, ladies and gentlemen. We have past champions, present champions, and future champions. So when I call your name, please make your way to the ring to be recognized. Here in attendance tonight, we have Aaron Martinez. That's right, we had a bit of lull in the action. We're gonna get this party going. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, these are past, present, and future champions in the world of boxing. So when I call their name, let's give them a big round of applause. First enter the ring, Aaron Martinez. Next, please welcome Oscar Torres. Next, please welcome Mr. Paul Banky. Also here tonight, please welcome Cindy La Alacrana Amador. Next, please welcome Mauricio Herrera. Next, please welcome Josecito Lopez. Next, please welcome Isaac Zarate. Also here tonight, please welcome Artemio, the King Reyes. Next, please welcome Juan Ramon Reyes. Next, please welcome AJ Sullivan. Next, please welcome legendary trainer, Mr. Joel Diaz. Another legendary trainer, please welcome Mr. Danny Zamora. Boxing legend, Mr. Carlos Bojurquez. Next, please welcome Chris, the Nightmare Adiola. Next, please welcome Eddie Gonzalez. Next, legendary trainer, my good friend, Mr. Willie Silva. Next, another well-known trainer, manager, Mr. Henry Ramirez. Next, please welcome Ralph Lopez. And last but not least, he's the father of Timothy, the Desert Storm Bradley. Please welcome Big Ray Bradley. He said, make some room. Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you are legends in the sport of boxing, trainers, fighters, past champions, present champions, and future champions. At some point, they fought in this ring. They trained fighters who fought in this ring, and they made the magic happen. Let's give a big round of applause to all of the past, present, and future champions in the world of boxing. 23 years, Thompson Boxing Promotions thanks you for your hard work, dedication, and making what our sport is today. Thank you.
Now that's the picture right there. That is the picture.
Very good, yeah.
Photo
Great to
op.
see Carlos Bojorquez. He looks good.
Sonny looks good.
Yeah, Chris Areola, man, he is.
He's in camp. I've been told that he's training and actually showing up to the trainings.
Well, he's living clean and eating healthy.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, before we leave. Yeah, Mauricio Herrera, right there. People bring up his fight in Puerto Rico.
Good. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my esteemed honor to do this at this moment. So I would ask that you please bear with me. 23 years of boxing greatness. 23 years of putting on shows every single month, show after show. There's a lot of work that goes behind it to make it come together, to make this family what it is. And it would not be possible without the hard work, dedication, loyalty, and love for the sport that was demonstrated by general manager, matchmaker extraordinaire, ladies and gentlemen, our captain at the helm. Let's give it up for Mr. Alex Campanovo. It's been an amazing 23 years, amazing 15 years that I've been with you. All this amazingness, I know from the bottom of our hearts to the bottom of the hearts of the people sitting in the seats, we thank you. We thank you so very much for doing what you've done all these years. A big round of applause once again for Mr. Alex Campanovo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. First of all, Sonny, you're fired. I'm going to be very short. We have a great main event coming up. Sorry for the delay. But first of all, I want to thank my beautiful family all sitting here. Thank you all, my beautiful wife, my mom, my brother, my kids, my friends, family that are here today. All of you, the fans that have been with us for 23 years, that have made this possible, to our wonderful sponsors that have been with us throughout all these crazy adventures. From this ring, from this very ring, we had 5 world champions, which is not an easy thing to do. And it wouldn't happen without all these men right here that are standing on this ring with me. Thank you all for all your hard work, for your dedication to the sport, for the dedication to Thompson Boxing. Obviously, we do this with heavy hearts since February the 10th, the day that we lost Ken Thompson, our dear Kenny. And to him, I thank him for everything. Thank you.
All right, that was Alex Campanovo, general manager of Thompson Boxing. Emotionally, he signed a lot of these fighters along with Mr. Ken Thompson. We move on. All right, so those of you guys wondering, like, what's the big delay? I told you guys the last fighter, Eddie Valencia, was transported to the hospital. He was complaining of blurred vision and dizziness. I just spoke with the doctors. They said they took him to the hospital as a precaution.
Yeah.
Because they took him to the hospital, the paramedics are the ones that took him. The hospital's not too far along. We have to wait for the paramedics to come back. The paramedics are on their way back. By law, a fight cannot happen without doctors and paramedics on site, including an ambulance. So that is the delay. So for those of you that are being smart, Alex, and complaining, stop.
Yeah, it's a good rule.
It's a damn good rule. It's 10:45 and you're watching a free stream. Have another drink, all right? So, yes, I am popping off because, like, let's have some respect for the fighters that get into the ring. Everybody else has been fantastic no matter what. So that's the reason we've had the delay between the co-main and main event. And mind you, you think we want to delay? No, because we have an after party planned. And the food is getting cold right now.
Right.
Those sandwiches are not going to stay warm the entire time. So that's what's going on for the delay. Look, let's look over there, Rich. We're taking pictures right here. We're posing for pictures here. So that's been the delay. So we'll get that going on. No, we don't have one paramedic working Weston Wells. It's called the ambulance. You ever go anywhere where they have 2 ambulances? Come on, bro. You're better than that. I thought you were a good troll, by the way, but you're not. All right, Sonny Franco. If you've ever watched a softball game, sometimes the players leave their cleats. Will Sonny leave his ring, his jacket in the ring tonight?
Please rise, remove your caps in observance of our nation's anthem to be performed by recording artist, Miss Aries K.
Oh, say, can you see
by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Once again, Miss Aries K.
Yeah, I just get here to come and give some good show in boxing, you know. I just came here. I'm not here to joke. I'm here to fight till the win go home, you know. Yeah, I'm very training hard, you know. I prepare myself and come here to fight. So I should tell him he should be in himself because I'm not here to joke, you know. I prepare very well to come and give us that show. So I'm ready to fight that. Yeah, I just get here to come and give some good show in boxing, you know. I just came here. I'm not here to joke. I'm here to fight until the win go home, you know. Yeah, I'm very training hard, you know. I prepare myself and come here to fight. So I should tell him he should be in himself because I'm not here to joke, you know. I prepare very well to come and give us that show. So I'm ready to fight that tonight.
I'm taking a great honor to be the main event of the last Thompson show. I'm sad to see them go, but like I said, I'm taking full advantage of this opportunity, and I'm going to go show out for all my Thompson family and everybody that's Thompson Boxing fans. I'm here to show you guys a show. This training camp went pretty well. I changed up some things. I got a nutritionist this camp. I've been working with this girl, Nicole, from Las Vegas. She's been keeping me on weight. I think that's been a big difference. I have way more energy now in my workouts, and you guys are going to see in the fight. I'm going to show out how good a shape I am in now, and just take it to this guy. And I'm going to knock him out this time. The little tape that I did watch on my opponent, he's a veteran. I've seen he fought a lot of good guys, but I'm focused on what's at task. I'm going to just outbox this guy, and I'm going to bully him. I'm going to be the aggressor, and I'm just going to take it to him. I'm going to go to the body. I'm going to stay on the inside, and I'm going to do my work. And that's going to be the big dividends in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get the action going once again. Please welcome out of the red corner as he makes his way to the ring from Accra, Ghana. Here is Benjamin Daddy Lambo Lamptey.
Representing Accra, Ghana, the veteran Benjamin Lamptey. 36 fights under his belt.
His third fight in the U.S., coming off back-to-back losses. So his previous two bouts here in America, he's come up short.
And another well-traveled guy. He too fought several fights in the UK. So he's been all over. Ghana, of course.
Main event time is walking. Yeah. Fighters from Ghana, always tough. Warriors. We'll see what we get tonight.
And now, please welcome his opponent as he makes his way to the ring. Out of the blue corner, from Corona, California, here is LOUIE LOPEZ.
LOUIE LOPEZ! Fighter with Thompson for a while now. Been tested as well, 13-2-1. A former football player at Corona Centennial. Brings the crowd.
Yeah, doing his part to reignite the energy in the room.
Yeah, he's a fun fighter.
Yes, he is.
And he's got the cool logo.
Oh, yeah.
The LOUIE LOPEZ logo on his shirt. And I really like that. He said it was designed by an elementary school friend of his.
Makes me think of Lennox Lewis.
Yeah.
Double L.
Ladies and gentlemen, Thompson Boxing Promotions is proud to present the feature attraction, as this is the main event of the evening. Sponsored by Thompson Building Materials, transforming spaces into beautiful places with locations throughout California. By Westlake Royal Stone Solutions, stone veneers that redefine versatility. By Omega Products International, the leading stucco manufacturer in the USA. By Belgard, pave the way. By Makita Tools, rule the outdoors. And Hustler Casino, Los Angeles' only luxury casino. This event is being sanctioned under the authority of the California State Athletic Commission. Executive Officer Andy Foster. Chairman Peter Villegas. Your timekeeper is Lorona Ganaway. Ringside physicians, Dr. Tariq Khan and Andre Guerrero. Your three judges scoring this bout should it go the distance are Ron Scott Stevens, Zach Young, and Daniel Sandoval. And the man in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Ray Corona. 8 rounds of action in the welterweight division. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the DoubleTree Hotel in Ontario, California, and for the last time, here for Thompson Boxing Promotions, live on ThompsonBoxing.com, ladies and gentlemen, let the battles begin! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stepped to the ring tonight wearing the black trunks. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 152.7 already pounds. As a professional, his record stands 13 victories against 11 defeats with 2 bouts even. 9 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us tonight, all the way from Accra, Ghana, show your love and welcome Benjamin Daddy Lambo Lamptey. And introducing his opponent, fighting across the ring out of the blue corner. He stepped in the ring tonight with the brown trunks with the colors of Mexico and the US of A. When he stepped onto the scale, he weighed in officially at 149.2 already pounds. As a professional, he has 16 fights to his credit, including 13 victories against 2 defeats with 1 bout even. 4 of his victories coming to you by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the fighting pride of Corona, California. Put your hands together and welcome LOUIE Lopez. Once again, your referee in charge, Ray Corona, give the final instructions.
Perfect right here, nothing below. Right here, nothing below. You want to touch gloves, do it now. God bless.
Ray Corona, the third man in the ring. Let's look at the tail of the tape for our main event, Doug.
Yeah, Lopez, 9 years younger at age 26. He's 2 inches taller. Their reach is about the same.
Our last fight ever for Thompson Boxing Promotions. It'll be Louie Lopez and Benjamin Lamptey. And it's fitting that it's an international fight because Mr. Thompson loved having the international fighters here in Southern California. Louie Lopez, record of 13-2-1. He's aggressive, comes out stiff jab immediately. Trained by Henry Ramirez. It's scheduled for 8 in our main event. I don't know how long it will go.
Lamptey from Ghana is got a very good jab. He's a good boxer. He has a nice stance, but he does usually fights flat-footed, right in the pocket with his opponent, and tries to out-hustle him from in there.
And thanks to everybody behind the scenes, Paul Lafornia and his company, Joe Pahar, bringing you the broadcast, Westlake Royal Building Products, sponsoring this opening round. And as usual, thank you to everybody watching us on YouTube and in Facebook. The interaction with you has been fantastic over the last 6 years. Louie Lopez digging to the body in the opening round.
Louie, of course, trying to bounce back from a defeat. He lost that last fight to Angel Beltran.
I'm sure that stung, and I'm sure he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he wants to prove something to himself.
Flying in, throwing a hook is Lamptey. That's awkward.
Yeah, Lamptey looks pretty good, though. I like his jab. He's economical with his punches. And even when Lopez was teeing off with both hands to the body, Lamptey did a pretty good job blocking those shots with his elbows and his arms.
Lopez, by the way, one change he's made since that last fight and the defeat was to hire a nutritionist, which he had never utilized before. And he said he can feel the difference. He's feeling more energy. He's eating a lot more carbs. He said less meats. And he's hoping that will give him more energy during the course of the fight.
It's okay to have technology on your side. It's available, guys. You don't have to just starve yourself and only drink water 3 days beforehand. Oh, good hook landed by Lopez. The Ghana fighter in the corner needs to get out of there. Uppercut from Lopez. That gets through. The crowd were ooh and ah with everything.
Lamptey's cagey inside. He's doing what a veteran should do, which is hold on when he's in a little bit of trouble. But it's Lopez landing all of the power shots. Lamptey's, like I said, got a nice jab.
And he depends mostly on it. Sometimes it looks like when you see him fight that he feels he can just win with a jab.
Yeah, he's not Icorte. He's Ghanaian, but he doesn't have that kind of jab. He needs to make some power. He needs to get a little bit of respect here. Yeah, it's going to take more than just a snappy jab.
Good opening round. Gonzalez, you're right. Get them snap packs, and while you're at it, get Steve Kim's column brought to you by Snack. K9.
Yeah.
He'll send you a WhatsApp. He'll send you a tweet. He'll send you a DM.
He'll send you everything to get you.
He'll get you a discount.
Yeah.
And these are some nice. You're seeing. Oh, that was the right uppercut landed by Lopez as he cornered the veteran, and he's looking to zero in with choice body shots. That was another angle of that right uppercut, and he was trying to land hooks and crosses. Lamptey did a good job of blocking a lot of those.
Replay is brought to you by Hustler Casino. We appreciate Hustler's sponsorship over the years of Thompson Boxing.
Henry Ramirez in that corner. You think he holds the record for Thompson Boxing for being in the most corners?
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I don't think they're allowed to have a Thompson show without Henry.
Right.
Eder Salvador, a good point. The Ghana fighter has heart. Look, when you're fighting your way out of Accra, Ghana, and that's what they do, they take you to a school once they realize you're not going to be a soccer player or anything else, and say, can you fight? And you fight your way out of it. A Timbo Sale special.
One thing I've noticed about the Ghanaian fighters,
as Lopez sitting down on his punches, going to the body, and Lamptey just absorbing those shots.
Yeah, the uppercut is the best shot for Lopez because he can split Lamptey's high guard.
One thing
the hooks and crosses are getting caught on the gloves and the forearms.
well, he's a smart fighter, Lamptey. One thing I've noticed about Ghanaian fighters down through the years, though, and the many that have come over here and fought, is they are almost always impeccably conditioned. They're always ready for long fights.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. Even tempered in the ring, even if they're punishers in there, it's like they don't get emotional.
That's a great point. You don't ever see the emotion.
Right.
You know, Ike Cortez, Zuma Nelsons of the world.
Yeah, the Clotty brothers.
Clotty brothers.
Yeah.
Trigomania, you're right. Tim Boxell is that dude. Tim Boxell actually recently sponsored a fight tonight across the pond. Lopez going to the body and rolling with it is Lamptey. That uppercut looking good for young Louie Lopez.
I'd like to see Lopez try to beat Lamptey to the jab and continue that uppercut whenever he can. See, the uppercut always gets through.
Got him.
And the uppercut will knock the chin up in the air to where he can land that left hook.
Lamptey's going to have to let his gloves go a little bit here.
Yeah.
Eventually. A minute to go in the second round, scheduled for 8. Our main event, final fight ever with Thompson Boxing Promotions, closing the door after 23 years. And thank you, the fans, for watching.
And here's the thing, if your defense is mainly to cover up, to block with your forearms and your biceps, ooh, that right hand got through. But your arms are eventually going to take a beating, and it's just going to take away from your power.
Rolling is Lamptey. He moves off. Wondering why they're going to give Louie Lopez a veteran like this, because a veteran like this can take shots and he's going to give you work. He's going to give you that resistance. It's up to see what Louie Lopez has as a young fighter. Replay is brought to you by Hustler Casino.
Lopez crowding the veteran along the ropes and going to the body with both hands. Lamptey doing a good job of blocking those. Lamptey landing the occasional shot, but really getting outworked by Lopez and tagged by those right uppercuts. And here's another angle of that salvo from Lopez. And it's still the right uppercut that's snapping the head back of Lamptey.
Lamptey has a lot of confidence in his ability to block shots, but many of those body shots are getting through.
Right, even some of them are being partially blocked, like the part of the glove will get caught on the elbow, but part of the glove is also landing on his midsection. It will tell on him as the rounds wear on.
Sal PDR, Mountain Rivera, and Weston Wells, thank you so much for all your commentary fantastic interaction tonight. You guys are the reason why we do this, because you guys are so positive. We appreciate you coming through. Good commentary too. Third round of action. Louie Lopez coming out strong every single round.
Yeah, he's really committing to the body.
I've never seen a guy who tries to fight his way off of the ropes or a corner with just a jab alone.
That's all
not going to do it.
That's all he's throwing is a jab.
If you're going to park it, if you're going to willingly go to the ropes, you got to be like James Toney.
You got to be moving and countering as you're avoiding punches. You need to be landing punches.
And that body shot got him.
Too many body shots.
Too many.
Finally.
Great word. Finally, Rich. And he's taking every second possible. Gets up at 9. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third round. Body shot again from Lopez. Dig it to the body in the corner. And goes down for the second time in the round.
Lopez not varying his attack at all. It's strictly to the body.
He's shaking his head. I don't know if he's going to get up.
No, he's not.
And it is over. We are done. Louie Lopez closes out Thompson Boxing with a third round stoppage.
Well, that was better from Lopez.
Yeah, very sharp. I love the aggression. I like the confidence of his offense. As we get some highlights of this stoppage.
122 of the third round.
And that is that's what you call a body attack.
And they'd been working on it. That body attack had been going and going and going, and it finally came through.
It's a good thing to have in his arsenal because, you know, he has some pop to his punches, but I wouldn't consider him a knockout puncher. So
now he was attacking and going after him.
Yeah.
We'll be back with an interview with Louie Lopez. Thompson Boxing on a Friday night.
If you're at this table, you know that it's more than a game of luck. You're not here for the small talk. You're here for the action. If you're at this table, you're a hustler. Hustler Casino.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes 1 minute, 22 seconds of round number 3. Referee Ray Corona puts a stop to this contest, declaring your winner by way of a knockout from Corona, California, Louie Lopez.
And Louie will be talking with Jessica Rosales. Great job by Sonny Franco in announcing the final winner of Thompson Boxing. He's still talking.
We thank you. We thank you for your support. We thank you for coming out. We hope you have a safe drive home. Don't forget, you guys made it possible. We're so glad you could be with us tonight. From the last time, this is Sonny Franco saying, Good night, Ontario, California. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Sonny, you've done a great job for 15 years with Thompson Boxing. Talented Sonny Franco. Signed off. We're not signing off, though. We still got to get an interview with Louie Lopez, and we got to have our final word. So thank you for everybody joining us right now. But Louie Lopez got the job done, Doug. He went to the body early and stayed with it.
And I think that was the ticket. He figured it out. That and it's wise to go to a veteran's body. He found a home for that right uppercut, and he just stuck with what worked.
Lamptey was simply overwhelmed in the end. And what you talked about earlier tonight, Doug, which was identifying what was working for you correctly. That's what it was pretty easy for Lopez to see. And he didn't vary his attack. It was just left, right, left, right, left, right to the body, and that was it.
He looks like the bigger man. He is like 2 inches taller. But he was almost 10 years younger. Be the younger man, be the aggressor, set the pace, take it away from the older fighter.
I'll be interested in seeing now what because these guys have been fighting on Thompson Boxing cards, and we're talking about Nelson Oliva, who we saw tonight, and George ACOSTA, and now Louie Lopez.
Both those guys look really sharp.
These are going to be good catches for somebody out there in terms of promoting these young fighters.
Guys to keep your eye on for
Let's see what Louie Lopez has to say. Actually, let's hear what Louie Lopez has to say, and let's see him. Something next to Jess Rosales.
All right, guys, Louie Lopez over here with us. Of course, this being the last show, everybody showed up for him. They're asking for autographs, they're asking for pictures and all that. I didn't even get to say congratulations, but congratulations on the win tonight. Well, let's talk about it. 3rd round KO to end it out for Thompson Boxing. How do you feel about the performance?
Not another way to go out, man. I'm glad I got to get him out of there early. Took a little bit to get out here, but I don't get paid for overtime, so I had to get him out.
Let's talk about it. Obviously, the loss and the last time that you were in the ring, you had to make some changes, had to make some adjustments. What were they, and how did you feel them tonight?
Oh, 100%. I had to make adjustments. I've been pissed off since March 10th since I lost, so I had been wanting to get that back since then. What I changed this camp, I got a nutritionist. I worked on more on my diet and my cardio, and I feel like that paid the bigger dividends today. I felt like I've been in really good shape, and I'm only going to get in better shape from here on out.
Now, Louie, let's talk about it. Thompson Boxing, last show after 23 amazing years. First off, what was it like being a part of that promotion and getting to say farewell in this way?
Oh, man, they always treated me like family since my first fight. This would be my 14th fight with Thompson's, man. I'm very blessed that they gave me a platform to fight on, and they brought me along very well, and I appreciate Alex and Mr. Thompson, rest in peace, all his family and all that, and I'm really grateful that they gave me the opportunity to show out for them.
Louie, you always bring out the crowd. You always have the fans here behind you. You got the fans joining us on, YouTube, Facebook, everything. What do you want to say to them for all that continued support?
Oh man, all my family, friends, all my family from NorCal. I know you guys are all watching. I love you guys. All my family that's in Santa Ana, Corona, wherever you guys are at. I love all you guys, and everyone that's here that came to support me. I thank all you guys. You guys can hear them. This is the reason why I do it.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite things about doing these interviews with you guys at Thompson Boxing is when you had the crowd behind you and you made them go wild. Do me a favor, one last time, turn around for this crowd and just put your hands up and make them go wild for everybody.
Let's go, baby. Team up. You guys hear him. Just be ready for the next show. Come out, please.
Louie, it makes it so hard to say goodbye when we have so much fun like this, but of course, it is time now for us saying goodbye. Thompson Boxing promotion after 23 incredible years. Thank you so much for that performance tonight. Thank you for the time, and of course, congratulations to you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing out, watching me, tuning in. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys.
All right, guys, what more can I say after, all the time that we've got to spend with each other here? But that's how we're closing it out here tonight. Louie Lopez, we've got all his fans here behind us. And one last time, let's send it back to Beto, Doug, and Rich ringside.
Oh, back here ringside. Great job by Louie Lopez. As you can see, the fans behind him. So, history question. Who was the last fighter to win on a Thompson show? It's going to go down as Louie Lopez. Final thoughts from Rich Murata.
Well, I think it was a great night. It was a fun night, and I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the series. I want to wish all of these fighters that have been fighting for Thompson Boxing the best of luck in the future. One thing I noticed about Thompson Boxing fighters, they're nice. They're nice guys. They're good guys. They like to speak with you. And you come to these weigh-ins, and when you see them interacting with the fans, and even with each other, and when they're opponents, there's none of this ridiculous posturing and you know, throwing chairs at each other.
No, they're all very humble.
Yeah,
they're humble, down-to-earth guys. Yeah,
I wish those guys the best of luck, and I wish you know, everybody that has worked for Thompson Boxing the best of luck in the future too. It's been a great run. It's been really unique, and it has a special spot in the history of Southern California boxing.
Doug?
I'll just reiterate, it's very special to work with people that you like and respect. And I'm not joking, I like everybody. And that's something I always hear from people within the boxing business, even outside of Southern California, is that Thompson Boxing is a class act. And when you add to that the fact that we can have fun, I mean, it's been a dream gig. It's been a lot of fun. It's very special over the years. And I also want to just give a shout out and thank all the fans. Everybody who watches, everybody who interacts. I love it.
It was. Now, I'm going to say the final words here. And one thing about it is Thompson Boxing never tried to portray that they were something they weren't. They never try to say, we're going to take over the boxing business. We're going to be the biggest and baddest. No, they knew their identity. They knew what they were all about. They knew how to produce champions. 5 champions coming out of ballrooms in 23 years of business. That is nothing to bet your eye at. That's like, wow, for you to work your way out of this ballroom to be on the world championship level, that's amazing. But it's also a testament to what the late Mr. Thompson would always say. It was about give the man the handshake, give your partner some respect, and let's get to work. And it was never about a shady business deal. It was never about this. It was never about that. It was always about putting on the best show for you, the fans. And if you can get the fighter, a lot of them who also had a day job and then would come fight here, an opportunity to make their lives better for their families. And you saw tonight the amount of fighters that came back in a standing room only capacity to be here for this special night. So Thompson Boxing closes the doors after 23 years, but the legacy and the lifetime will live on. The social media accounts will still be going. The YouTube page is still there for you to go back and check some of the fights. For everybody behind the scenes, of course, Alex Campanova, the matchmaker and general manager, Mr. Thompson, the late Mr. Thompson, his wife Vera, and the entire Thompson family. For California, Little Joe Pahar, Carlitos, our fantastic photographer, kite running our social media, everybody behind the scenes, and again, for Jeanette Gonzalez. Steve Kim, who started the original broadcast, thank you to Steve for getting the idea of the ball rolling off the ground. For Pierre, who was our PR director, Mario Serrano, PR now, and of course Jessica Rosales, the 4th member of our crew, does an amazing job on the social. So we can go on and on and on, but sometimes we got to say goodbye. For the late, great Mr. Ken Thompson, I'm Beto Duran. Good night, everybody. It's been a wild ride. It's been a fantastic ride, and thank you for supporting Thompson Boxing.